Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. Dalton, where I am right now, it's called Mufre Crescent and it's the Muslim grounds here. And the players shall be held here where a number of Muslims have already gathered right now. There will be 3 places where players shall be had, including Walukuba, prayers shall be held there. And then we shall also have in the Bugembe Stadium, that is the Chavazinga Stadium, also prayers shall be held here. But the main celebrations or main prayers shall be held here in Jinja Central at the Muslim grounds. And apparently the regional card, Sheikh Muhammad Boa, shall be leading the prayers here at exactly 8 a.m. That's when the prayers are expected to start here in Jinja. Dalton, you asked what are the main points that are being emphasized. Since the day is Eid Adhuha, and it's one of the greatest days in the Muslim faith, where we emphasize slaughtering. And of course, the message here is all about slaughtering animals that are legible, because some animals are not good for slaughtering. Maybe those are lame and those that don't have other parts. But the point here, the sheikhs are emphasizing, and imams, everybody should slaughter. Dalton, this is the biggest day in the Muslim faith because it comes when everyone is ready for the day. We prepare for the whole year, and it's a day for drinking, it's a day for eating, it's a day for slaughtering. We can slaughter for the next 3 days. We start today and then we end in the next 3 days. We are talking about, we also live on Salam TV, and for our viewers who are on Salam TV, one Wendy ndi ku Muslim grounds bayita ku Kadaboy Mufre Crescent, era nga eswala eya Eid ejja kuba ekwatibwa wano mu Jinja wonna. Wano we bategese, era nga woolaba emabega wange abasiraamu bangi nnyo beetanidde ekifo kino. Pozi tujja kusalira mu bifo bya mirundi 3 wano mu Jinja, waliwo ewalukuba ne wabaawo ne Bugembe ku Chavazinga Stadium. Naye nga wano eswala eya Eid egenda tandikira ddala ssaawa 2, era nga ntegeezeddwa nti regional card owa Busoga Sheikh Muhammad Boa yagenda okulemberamu wano eswala ya Eid ng'ayambibwako ne district card owa Jinja Sheikh Ismail Adi Basoga bagenda okuba nti nno bebawubye omutwe mu kukulembera eswala ya Eid. Naye nga omulamu omukulu olunaku lwaleero gwa kusala bisolo nga olunaku we lugenda mu maaso emphasizing okuba nti no olunaku no tusala nnyo ebisolo fe abalina obusobozi tusobola okusala ennaku 3 okuva olwaleero n'ennaku endala 2 mu maaso awo. So tujja kusala okuva olwaleero paka lwakutaano nga tusala busazi ebisolo ebikkirizibwa. Tokkiriza kusala kisolo kikyamu ekitakkirizibwa mu mateeka, tugeze nga tekiriiko bitundu bimu obanga ekisolo tekituuse bulungi mu bukulu. So embeera eri wano eno. Back to you at the Police Command Center, Dalton.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar walillahil hamd. Well, thank you very much, Hakim Kanyere, who's coming to us live from Jinja and bring us the nitty-gritty of what is happening at the playground, where Muslims, hundreds in number, are gathered to say their prayer. And Idi Mubarak to everyone that is watching us live on NBS television, but also abali kusanyu rather ku Salam TV. Salam TV namwe tubebaza okubanga mutuwegaseeko era tuberanga tubaleetera butereevu ebintu oba emizikiti abasiraamu webasalidde abasinga twabadde ko Old Kampala tugenzeeko ebukoto kati tubadde Jinja ate katugendeko Kabarole oba tugendeko Fort Portal tourism city, where I have Julius Nabimanya. Julius Nabimanya, where are you catching the prayers? Please bring us to speed.
Well, thank you so much, Dalton. Maybe before I let you know about what is happening here, allow me first tell you that I have just been nicknamed the name Abdara here to fit in this very community by this very colleague you see next to me. So going forward, I am Nabimanya Abdara. Well, I am coming to you live from Kabarore Main Mosque here in Fort Portal Tourism City, the only tourism city in Uganda, and where I am, prayers are about to begin. But I can't say much when I have the speaker of this very mosque whom I want to talk to tell us how the whole program will move, what is the message, and what will be the next program after this prayer. You are welcome, sir. First of all, our viewers would want to know who are you and how is the program going to move right here.
I'm by the names of Onyango Sudais. I work as the speaker of Kabarole Main Mosque.
So what is the program like here?
Program yetu ya kiro kinu abantu nibajja kuija tusale, bamara kusala, as soon as imamu amazire kutora salamu yokumalira noekezebwa kugaruka muko akasala ebisoro noborabo talinzira kutuba kasa salamu yokumalirirewa noekezebwa kusala ebisoro mu bisoro ebyo bikwekezebwa kusala noekezebwa kusala engamia, kusala ente, kusala embuzi, kusala entama. Kasa mbisoro ebyo byokuba nosala atabaho ekisoro ekirwaire, kasa kiba kitali kirwaire kitali kirema, oborabo bokubosaza ekisoro kitali kirema nobokyesalira habwawe atalukisala kufuna mu Allah empera noekezebwa okuba isobora okugura ente yona okacumba nka hafu okakigabira abantu abakwetoroire, abantu abakuliheyi, abantu abatakusobora. Kandi program yetu ya hano abantu aba Fort Portal, it's like they need the people, abantu abatakwesobora kubu tujja kubafunira engeri yona abokuba alihe ente zitwine, alihe embuzi zitwine, ebintu ali kujja kusala tubagabire nabo bagende babe mwaba abantu abarafuna kusemererwa hakiro kinu habukwa kino ekiro kyo kusala ebisoro obora abotasoboye kusala kiro kinu noso kusala nyencha kyakana noso kusala kyakatana abokuba eno idi eba yebiro bisatu.
Okusaba kutandika sazinga kandi noho kugenda kurramu okusaba kwekiro kino.
Tujja kutandika kusala nkasaha 2 n'ekichweka kujja kwebembera kusala kuno regional kadhi wa Western Sheikh Galb nokujja kuba kutwebembera mu kusala hano.
Maybe ntakakurekere kugenda message yo erikugenda ku tawa amani oba nka theme ekiro kino kugira ha entekateko kwemerera.
Message tingine message ya amani nkuba kuyani nimbagaliza idi enungi nokusemererwa okurungi mu makaganyu na Uganda at large.
Amabara?
I'm by the names of Onyango Sudais, Kabarole Main Mosque speaker.
Thank you so much. Dalton, you have heard from the speaker of this Kabarore Main Mosque. He was speaking in Rtoro, but meaning that what his message was that they are going to pray. A few minutes from now, prayers will begin. After prayers, then they will allow all the people here to go and slaughter their animals, and he has specified the particular animals to be slaughtered, and he said as a Muslim community they are also willing to give those people who don't have what to slaughter, who don't have what to eat, and that means people who are just watching NBS, those who don't have anything will just come here and get something. We shall move with them to the particular place where they are going to slaughter their animals from. But when I look around here, what I see, they are arranging here outside this very mosque you see behind me, and the prayers, I have been told they are going to conduct their prayers right here, and after prayers, that's where they will be going. And later in the day, that's when they will enter this very mosque again to pray. This is how the arrangement of this very place is. For those who are watching us on Salam, twagala kubategeeza nti nzija buterevu gyoli nga nsinzira ku musikiti guno gwa Kabarole Main Mosque mu kibuga Fort Portal. Guno gwe musikiti ogumu ogusinga omunene wano Wendi, naye nga wano Wendi embeera batandise okutereeza buli mbeera mu kaseera mpawo kaga okusala kujja kuba kutandika nga bw'owulira nti omu atandise okusaba emabega wange, then bwe bamala okusaba bajja kuba bakkiriza wano abali wano okugenda abayisiraamu okugenda okusala ebisolo abo abeesobola n'abo abalina ebyokusala era ne bagamba nti ebisolo abo abatalina byakusala bajja kuba obukulembeze bw'omusikiti guno obujja kuba bubaweereza ebyokulya ng'omukka wefu bogamba nti muyambe abateesobola nabo basobole okwesobola kubanga kati baagala nti n'abantu abayisiraamu abo abanaku ennyo nabo ate basobola okwenyumiriza mu nnaku luno olw'ekitiibwa nti bwanaaba bavudde wano bavudde mu kusala mpozi kye bantegeezezzaako nti okusala ebisolo kujja kubeera kwa nnaku 3 ezijjudde abantu bakkirizibwa okusala leero enkya ne ku lunaku olwokutaano okwawukanako n'ennaku endala zonna bwe ziri embeera bwetyo bweri wano ku Kabarole main mosque abalabi baffe abasiraamu tubeebaza mwebale kulaba. Dalton njagala kukuzaayo mu studio gy'oli naye njagadde engeri gy'osabamu kati mbadde nkuwulira nga tuzza gy'oli ssebo tweyanziza mukama waffe tweyanzeege kankuze mu studio yongereyo abalabi baffe.
Well, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar walillahil hamdu. It's such a celebration. Somebody who is not Muslim out there and has heard us and is watching us, what does this mean?
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allah is great. Allah is great. There's none that is worth of worship except Allah, the only one. Allahu Akbar. Allah is great. Allah is great.
Allah is great. Yeah. Well, very significant. We've been speaking of, if you've already taken your prayers, abali ku Salam TV, tubakakasa nti buli kifo ekiri muno mu ggwanga tukiinako obuyinza okubeera nga tuteekayo abantu baffe babeerenga bakuleetera butereevu biki ebiri mu Muslim community nga twetegeka okusaala era nga tumaze okusaala tujja kubeera nga tusala ebisolo. But ndi n'omumanyi mu studio Sheikh Umar Mubiru era agezaako tumenyeramenyeramu kiki ekitegeeza okubeera omusiraamu era omusiraamu agenda okusaala oba a celebrating olunaku luno for the benefit of people that are out there. Kiki kye kitegeeza okujaguza olunaku luno?
Neyanzeeke kigambo kikulu nnyo, kibuuzo kikulu nnyo. Ekyo nnyini ky'obuuza ye theme gwe mulamu omukulu ogw'olunaku olwaleero, olunaku lwa kujaguza, mbaga, kusanyuka olw'okuba nti tugenderera okwebaza Katonda olw'otutuusa ku lunaku luno olw'ekitiibwa nga tugenderera okujjukira ekyafaayo kinene nnyo ekya jjajjaffe kitaffe Ibrahim alayhi salaam oluvannyuma lw'okuba nti Katonda yamugezesa okusala omwana we naye ne yeewaayo ng'omutya Katonda n'ayagala atuukirize ekyo Katonda kye yamugamba. Yafuna ekiso nga kyogi bulungi n'agezaako okusala n'asala ekiso ne kitasala. Kigambibwa nti yakwata ekiso kino n'akikasuka ku lwazi mu busungu, ekiso kino ne kyasaamu olwazi. Naye Katonda yali agendedde kumugezesa kulaba nti ddala mutya Katonda era asobola okwewaayo, n'awanyisibwamu na kisolo na ndiga. Era olwaleero tujaguza nga bwe tusala ebisolo nga twebaza Katonda nga bwe muwulya takbiiri eyo nti Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, nga tutendera nti Katonda munene era wa kitiibwa. Nga bwe tusala ebisolo oba olina ndiga, nte, mbuzi n'ebifaana bwe bityo.
What are the underlying, the undertones in the celebration of Eid is we could talk about selflessness, we talk about compassion, we also talk about the ability or the gesture of helping others. How should that resonate with a Muslim?
Well, thank you so much. In fact, what you have mentioned surrounds the entire festival, the entire celebrations, because they actually start from Ibrahim's act. That each of us, I myself and you who is watching this show or viewing this show, the act of the selflessness.
What I mean, Sheikh Muiru, break it down for me and for the viewers. Boyogera selflessness, chichiche tutunulira. What are we looking at? Yeah, what are some of those examples that we're supposed to? As a Muslim, what should I pick when Sheikh Muiru is teaching me to be selfless?
Yes, definitely that. Of course, when you look at this, I want to borrow a leaf from what Ibrahim did and stretch it away clearly into the context of our life today. That's being selfless, for example, especially for this day, when we sacrifice animals, we must have the heart of sharing what we have slaughtered, the meat that we have, with others. You enjoy part of, the meat you have, you share with your neighbors and even those that are needy in the community, regardless of their, spiritual subscriptions, whether they are Muslims or not Muslims. Your neighbors and those that you feel are really needy or poor in the community. These are some of the people that you can be able to share your meat with. So doing so teaches you that you must always stand out for others. That you have the meat, you have your cow, you have your sheep, you have your goat. You don't simply withdraw into yourself and keep all the meat in your saucepan, and then you feel like, we should spend a week, just a week eating from this.
Speak about that. There are those that first hold on to the meat. Then I think when they detect that they can't consume it after 3 days, they say, oh, yafune mpera.
Ideally, this person will get rewards, but they are minimal. They are minimal. They don't count much. It's just like if somebody has, in our ordinary days, if somebody has some food and feels like should consume it.
That is an African tradition.
Yes.
So there are those that are not African and are watching this station.
Yes.
And because for African tradition to share food, it's okay. The Western world, if I come to your home, you must inform me such that I prepare for you something. Whereas in our culture, batugamba asu abaganda say oyina okufumba emmere tomanya anajja.
Yes.
And so are other communities. So what you're saying is something that we need to drum that. The compassion, the selflessness, give.
Yes.
What does it, if I give, what do I get in return?
You get rewards. You get rewards because the teachings are clear. Categorically, you are advised to share the meat in 3 parts. What your family will consume, and part of it your neighbors, regardless of their faith, and even the needy community. Other needy persons in the community around you.
That's very significant.
Yes.
Nsaba omuntu aina obusobozi nga ali ku salama era ali ku NBS ategere ekintu ekyo kyoyogedde seeka nti bw'obanga osaze ekisolo oyina okigabanyaamu ebitundu 3. Tandikirawo.
Funako ekitundu ekyawaka, ogyeko ekitundu ekyabalirwana abo, nimba nga si basiraamu, gabana nabo essanyu kuba lunaku lwa kusanyuka. Then n'ekitundu abantu abeetaavu. Mu bitundu byaffe tuba n'abantu abeetaavu. Nomanya nti ono ye nteeka okumuyizaayo kakiro k'ennyama naye asanyuke kuba lunaku lwa ssanyu. Naawe n'obaako kyokola ki kyosigaza n'ofuna empeera, kubanga ekyo ky'oba okoze tokikola ku lulwo nga bw'olowooza, wabula kusomesebwa okulambulukufu okuva Nabbi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam okuyigiriza butya bw'oba ohandolinga ennyama eno gy'okola ki gy'oyina. Ekigendererwa kuteeka ssanyu mu mitima gy'abantu, abantu osanyuke nabo. Ekyo kikuyigiriza okuvaamu obukodo. Endwadde ey'obukodo ya mutima, enalazo okugiwona, ekyo kikuyamba nti bulwogaba, kubanga ennyama kafuuka akanyama. Kiro y'ennyama eri $1,600.
Eyalinga ku kasanvu. Kati omuntu bw'omukwatira kilo 2 n'ozimu ezo ssente, oba oliisa essanyu mu kifuba kye. Ekyokubiri, kinyweza oluganda, enkolagana ennungi n'oluganda n'okwagalana. Bagamba bulijjo mu Buganda nti omusango gw'ennyama tegugwa maki
tegugwa malojjo wandyako ennyama wandyako ennyama. Some people hate others even in functions. You serve food, you don't give him meat, he says, okay, that man did not give me meat. And that keeps on and on. But when you, and people out there, people, some of you, you should actually know, the communities out there watching you. And they are waiting for that meat. They are waiting for that meat.
As we go to Kim Wampamba, who is somewhere, Sheikh, there's something that behind we're discussing. What is the transition between Subuhi, prayer Subuhi, to the celebration, Eid celebration? I'm thinking, if I go for Subuhi, immediately I can pray for my Eid and walk away. Okay. And go and sacrifice. Is that Quranic?
Ideally, the recommendation is that after Subuh, you wait till sunrise. And some Arab countries and many other big countries, when they go for Subuh, they don't move out of the mosque. They keep sitting till when there's sunrise. They pray and go to their homes. Even here, a few mosques observe around 7 there. Some of the mosques in Kampala, a few of them, actually countrywide, they observe the Eid prayers at 7 in the morning. That is so convenient that even these other rituals like the sacrificing of animals are possible. Even the breaking of the fast. It's possible. You can even prepare the meal a little earlier, especially when you have visitors. So I would advise many of the mosque leaders that please try to adjust the timeline. Otherwise, some mosques are seen praying as late as 11. Can you imagine? When will this person get back to and sacrifice and
they
enjoy?
Distribute in the three format that the three formula that you've given us.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Sheikh Omar Mobiru. Very interesting, very good insights into the Quranic teaching when it comes to this day. I want to go to Hakim Wampamba. Hakim Wampamba will be giving us what is happening. Well, Hakim, it's a pleasure to have you on this very day. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. What is it like where you are, Hakim?
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I should say Eid Mubarak to you, Dalton Kawesa. Today I want to call you Kamada for some reason. But I want to also tell you that coming to you live from Old Kampala, the National Mosque here at the Supreme, it's just pomp and glamour. All I've been hearing right from the morning has been takbir. La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, walillah alhamdu. We do expect His Eminence Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mobaje to lead the Eid prayers right here, and that should be happening at around 9 a.m. But the Hutuba will happen right before it. The Hutuba that I've been always listening to, or the sermon that I've always been listening to ever since I started praying from here, dating way back from 2004, it has been that sermon about the commemoration of this day. Where does this very day take root? This day, according to the sermon that I've listened to for many years, has always been about faith, that the faith that was displayed by Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, the one who wanted to sacrifice his only son that he had gotten at a very late age, all because of the will of Allah. And that is the reason as to why Allah or God said that no man should be sacrificed, therefore we should sacrifice animals. The very reason as to why we have these celebrations actually having people sacrifice or slaughter animals. And that, I love the fact that the Sheikh has been able to explain how the slaughtering should happen and the formula that it takes and the rationale behind that. And you want to also imagine that all that takes root in the African traditions of sharing, or the culture of generosity, the culture of wishing well for others. Hajats are here, all enjoying. You can see taking of selfies, which is of course in line with the Islamic teachings. I do not know much about taking selfies, but at least I know that this is a day when people are supposed to be happy. We are advised as Muslims, while you're going to the mosque, use the one route. While you're leaving the mosque, use the other route. For example, I was born around Kulabya Chiaye, so if you are coming from that side and you come here at Old Kampala and pray, use another route to go back. Don't use the same Bakuli route that you used. You need to move around, visit friends, and ensure that you spread love, because that is what ultimately the religion is all about. Otherwise, I can tell you that people are coming in large numbers to hold the Eid prayers right from here, and they will be happening at exactly 9 a.m. What they will be exactly about, because I know His Eminence Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mobaje usually carries around messages, and this comes at the backdrop of the country facing a number of challenges. Will he speak to those a little later? Will he be able to allude to the fact that there are quite a lot of things that really need to be improved in terms of the way the country is governed, because religion also takes root in the sort of politics that we have in the country. The moment we have politics that are toxic, we won't have religion, or we won't have the freedom of association. So all those we shall keep waiting and to listen in to the hutuba or sermon that will be given a little later. But also the day takes or has that theme of sacrificing and slaughtering of animals. That is what we are advised to. But also, according to Islamic teachings, we are not supposed to fast the 3 days of Tashriq. So today, which is a Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, you are not allowed to fast. So for those that have been fasting the days of Arafat, you are not advised to fast the 3 days that are, because those are days for roasting and still continuing to enjoy. So do not fast, dear Muslim brother and sister. And I think those are the details that I can be able to get for you right from here. And I'll be standing by to bring you the details and the message that His Eminence Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mobaje and the other Muslim leaders will carry for the day here at Old Kampala Mosque. As I get back to you, Kamada, Dalton Kawesa at the Political Command Center.
Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Walillahil hamd. I've been given the name Sheikh.
Yes.
Kamada.
Kamada.
Yes. Kamada. I don't know. Somebody told me Kamada is Lugandanizing.
Yes,
and,
definitely that.
Which is the right name?
Ahmad.
Ahmad.
The one who praises God so much.
Ahmad, the one that praises God, is called...
So Kamada is just like Umar. You will hear some people saying Bumari.
Bumari. Sheikh, there's something that about this day and the whole visit to Mecca, the Holy Land. Have you been to Mecca?
I haven't.
You haven't.
Yes.
Inshallah, you
Inshallah,
will.
we go.
Yes, I'm very sure you will be there. And I will definitely talk about it. We shall send you there with the camera and you report live what is happening. Well, some of the things, I want to show you something on screen here that happens. Yes, that is exactly. That is the stoning of, is it Kaaba? What ritual is that? And how significant is it?
Well, that is a throwing of pebbles to pillars. There are pillars there. Yeah, and Muslims gather to throw pebbles or stones, small stones. It is taught that the pillars represent Satan himself. And the throwing of pebbles is intended to show a disgrace to Satan, but also to give a reflection of how so composed a Muslim should be in his daily life, in trying to fight the soul as regards, not following the directions of Satan, or trying to instill in yourself, a culture of practicing Islam and also doing away with all sorts of evil in your life.
Okay. So apart from the throwing of pebbles, this is one of those places that are highly congested when it comes to what other rituals are supposed to be performed when you go to Mecca?
Well,
for holy trip.
Ideally, there are quite a number of them. The other one is what is referred to as tawaf. the circumambulation. They circumambulate or
the Kaaba.
run around the Kaaba. There's also Sa'i, Safa and Marwa. You've had Safa and Marwa.
Yes.
It is so historic. It's a hill. They run back and forth. At the time when Ibrahim had left his family in the Arabian Peninsula, he went back to Palestine and left Ismail, a very young child, a baby, with Hajar, the mother. And the mother used to run back and forth because there was no water. They had food, they didn't have water. Remember, this is a desert. This is a desert. So she ran back and forth, and the son was actually crying and doing sorts of things. So when she came back, she realized that there was a spring just from under his feet, a spring of water. And then she began to collect it, saying Zamzam. You've heard about the
yes,
water of
Zamzam?
Zamzam?
Yes.
Zamzam. In other words, collect together, come together.
Oh.
And right now it's a well. It's a holy well. And that water is just,
very precious and very some of the things that many Muslims that go to Mecca, they are told there's always a request onanditayo amaziga Zamzam.
Yes. Yes.
And someone wants to know how important is Zamzam.
Zamzam, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam teaches, recommends, encourages us to drink Zamzam water. That is holy. And the other thing about it, that the intention you have for drinking the water is what God gives you. Can you imagine? The intention you have. I want to build a house. I want to have a car. I want to have a stable family. I want to be healed from the sicknesses that I have. All the intentions you have, the good intentions, in other words, that you have. Once you drink it, you actually get what you have.
For the benefit of viewers that are on other channels, right, picking it from NBS television, Sheikh Umar, I want you to just in 30 seconds, as I go to some of the reporters that report in different places, to give us, to capture what is happening and give us insight on this day. Omuntu atulaba. Wandi mugambye nti kifaananyi njagala producer nzirizeko ekifaananyi kye tulabanga abantu beetolola Kaaba e Mecca. Ekifaananyi ekyo kye bagenda tuteerako ekyo kiki ekigenda mu maaso awo era kitegeeza ki eri omusiraamu?
Ensonga ey'okukuba ebiwagi bafuna obuyinja obutono ne babukasuka nga bakuba ekiwagi kyali myaka egyedda byalinga bitono ate nga congestion ereeta n'okufa kw'abantu naye kati ne bakizimba ne bakigezza babakuba shaitani. Kabonero one tuyigirizibwa okuba nga tukikola as one of the rituals, but on the other side omuntu kimuwa okufumiitiriza butya bw'ayimiridde mu kusinza Katonda we n'okubeera ng'omwoyo gwe buli kaseera agulwanyisa okubeera nga tafuuka muddo wa shaitani wabula ng'agezaako okulaba nti yeewala ebikolwa ebikyamu ate n'aba ng'akola enkola erongoosa okubeera omuntu omulungi agenda okukomawo ng'atukudde, kubanga Nabbi sallallahu alaihi wasallam Obusiraamu butuyigiriza nga Nabbi atusomesa nti omuntu bw'agenda e Makka nadda nga hijja ye ekkiriziddwa ng'atukudde nga n'omutima gwe agutukuzza okuva mu byonoono byonna naye nti mbadde mugenyi wa Katonda nti nkomyewo kanneetereza olwetereeza, abanga empeera gy'afuna eba yakuyingira ggulu, zimuyitira okuyita eggulu bajjana, era abanga akaana kato akakazaalibwa, in other words aba sinless completely. Kakati ekyo kikulu nnyo omuntu aba agenze nti byonna byakola bimuyigiriza okusemberera Katonda, okulinyoowinga enkolagana ye ne Katonda we, ate n'okuba nti bw'akomawo atereeza enneeyisaayi afaanane kiri kyabaddeko.
Sheikh Umar nga atuyigiriza, nze njagala kutambula n'abamanyi era olwaleero neesimye nnyo okubeera n'omumanyi Sheikh Umar Mubiru, kubanga ate nga atuyigiriza njagala kugendako era tusabira nga sinagenda namusaazi ebukomansimbi, era tusabira abantu bonna abaakoze hijja, Allah tabaraka akkirize akkirize hijja yaabwe waliwo omuntu n'agenda ate n'agendera bwereere omutima gubeere nga ogukiliniza omutima nga ogutukuza obeere nga ozaaliddwa nate bujja. Yes, Zainab Namusaazi njagala kutuukako otubuulire ki ekiri ebukomansimbi, abantu bamaze okusaala, abantu beetegese batya okubeera nga tujjukira luno olunaku olwa Idi enkulu. Zainab?
Naza Dalton nomulayi wa NBS. Dalton nizo okusandika ne takbir egamba nti Allahu akbar, Allahu akbar, la ilaha illa Allah, Allahu akbar, Allahu akbar walillahi alhamdu. Era nga olya amaloboozi gali mabega wange wabula neno ku muzikiti gwenyumiddeko ogwa Mahabuba okusaa Idi Adhuha wegenda okubeera nga ate ekwatibwa wano mu district ey'Ebukomansimbi naye nga mu kaseera kano nga woolaba ebifaananyi ebiri emabega abantu batandise okubeera nga ate batuuka nga n'abamu bali mu kubeera nga baalirira emisaala okubeera nga bannabukomansimbi nabo beegatta ku nsi yonna okujaguza Idi Adhuha gye tumanyi obulungi nti no yakusala bisolo wadde nga akalombolombo ka Idi eno balina kusooka kusaala n'oluvannyuma basala ebisolo naye Ebukomansimbi nizo okugamba nti nate bo bandibanga bakyusaamu nga bo basooka kusala bisolo ate ne balyoka basala olw'ensonga nti n'obudde we buti tubeera nga tumaliriza okubeera nga ate tusaala Idi Adhuha oba nga tuli mu nteekateeka ezifundikira eswalaatu ya Idi naye Ebukomansimbi bagenda kubeera nga ate essaawa 3 ze basuubira okubeera nga batandika okusaala essaawa nga 6 ze tumenze basalyako ebisolo babeere nga ate beeteekateeka kubeera nga badda waka naye mukadde kano nzikiriza negatte ku Supreme Kadhi wa disitulikiti y'Ebukomansimbi Sheikh Muhammad abeere nga ate atubuulire era nga yagenda okukulemberamu solati Idi. Sheikh tukwaniriza ku NBS nsaba osembeko aneno kati mu kamera yaffe obeere nga ate otubuulira eswala ya Idi tulaba nti neno Idi ye Idi Adhuha kwe basalira ebisolo biki ebyo bannabukomansimbi wadde nga tebannatuuka naye nkimanyi bali mu maka gaabwe batulaba biki bwe balina okugoberera nga basala ebisolo ku Idi eno?
Allahu akbar, Allahu akbar, Allahu akbar. La ilaha illallah, Allahu akbar, Allahu akbar walillahi alhamd. Mwenna abatulaba ku NBC televisioni tusa okuboozaayiriza okutuuka ku lunaku luno olulungi olunaku lwa Idi al-Adhuha nga Idi yakusala bisolo. Idi eno y'okusala ebisolo kye tulina okubeera nga tugoberera tusaba Allah atutuusizaako kwe kubeera nga tukeera mu bifo mwenna ne tusaala ng'obudde bukyali. Era mwe bannabukomansimbi abe batannaba kutuuka mutukoze bubi mukyali backwards mukyali mabega nnyo ensi yavaayo dda. Eno Idi kye tusooka kusaala bwe tutuuka ssaawa nga 2 ng'okusaala kwawedde dda ne tuyingira mu kusala ebisolo kubanga ekiri sunna kwe kubeera nga kye tutandika okulya nakyo kyekisolo kye tusobodde okusaala kye tusaze kye tutandikirako okulya. Kati bwe mujja ne musaala ne mumala ssaawa 5 musale mulye ddi ate nga kiri haraamu okusiiba olunaku luno kitegeeza musiibya abantu nga tekiri haraamu okusiiba. Tuteekwa okugoberera ebyo. Ekyokubiri abaana ababasaze tusala embuzi ne tusala ente ne tusala eŋŋamiya bw'ebeera nte ebeeramu abantu 7 basobola okugyegattiramu bw'ebeera embuzi esobola okubeera omuntu omu n'agisala tugigabanyaamu emiteeko 3 omuteeko ogusooka n'oguwa abantu abawaka omuteeko ogwokubiri n'oguwa mikwano gyo omuteeko ogwokusatu n'oguwa bafunampola abo bonna bw'oba obadde kubanga kireeta omukwano. Ekyalibadde ekirungi era mu nnaku luno olwa Idi kwe kulambula abantu baffe mikwano gyaffe kubanga Idi eno erina eggandaaliza nnaku 3 ku muntu eyeekozesa naye gwe bakozesa olwaliro baba bakuwadde Idi enkeera genda okola emirimu naye yeekozesa tulina ennaku 3 ezo tusobola okukozesa omukisa ogwo ne tulambula ku b'eŋŋanda zaffe okuyunga oluganda kikulu nnyo. Nkubiriza abantu ku Idi eno mubaka bwe tulina ne Ssaabasajja bwe yaweereza okusabira eggwanga lino naddala ku bantu baffe abattiddwa enzita ey'ekyeyonoonere. Abaana baffe ng'ab'e Kasese bye baatugumbula, ab'Ebijambiya abaatemeddwa e Masaka n'abantu abafa enfa etategeerekeka. Tusaba n'abantu ababatuusaako ebikolobero ebyo ne tubasaba nti bannaye mwekube ku mitima tugenda kusisinkana Katonda waffe ate atubuuze embeera eyo.
Twanza nnyo shehi olwakadde k'otuwadde ate Dalton n'omulabi wa NBS ssaako ne Sam TV ebisingako ebinabeera bigenze mu maaso ku Idi Adhuha eno omulabi waffe tujja kubeera nga tubimutuusaako obutereevu mu mawulire gaffe amasengejje ne live at 9 kankuma mu Political Command Center mubeere nga ate obongerayo n'ebiri mu bitundu ebirala batyabbo beeteeseteese okubeera nga ate basala Idi Adhuha gye tumanya bulungi ti Nabbi Ibrahim alayhi salaam kwe yali asaddakira omwana we eri Allah oluvannyuma okubeera nga yali talina kisolo kyakubeera nga saddaka ate Allah n'amuleeteramu endiga kankumawo Dalton mutongeleyo n'ebiri ewalala.
Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, walillahil hamdu. Yes, thank you very much, Anamsazi. Okubeera nga otutuusaako ate ebiri ebukomansimbi sek Umaru omumanyi gwe nnina wano abadde nga atuluŋŋamya mu bulombolombo bwonna bwe tulina okukola naye nga tannaba kutujjukanya era njagala ŋŋendeko ewa Shamim Nabakoza. Shamim Nabakoza is somewhere that I can't easily see, but of course, are you out there? You can see where she is on the screen. She's in Chibuli, definitely. Let's see what Shamim brings to fore. Shamim, give us what the message, if the prayers have already taken shape, or what is likely to come out of these prayers and why the Muslims are looking forward to this celebration. Shamim.
From these people.
Many thanks to you, Dalton. I'm coming to you live from the hill of Chibuli, where Chibuli Mosque is located, and that's where we're coming to you live from this morning. And as of now, it's only deliberations coming through, only different preachers talking to the groups. As of now, it's Dr. Muhammad Chigundu who is preaching to the gathering here, and you can see in my background, if my camera person can take you around.
And this is where we see
many of the Muslims have already gathered. This particular Idi Adhuha, we have the prayers oftentimes earlier in the morning, so prayers do not oftentimes go beyond 11. So the expectation is that this will be happening at exactly 10, and the preacher that you're hearing in the background who is talking especially about the essence of this Idi Adhuha is Dr. Muhammad Chigundu. And the many gathering, the several individuals that you see gathered here in the section of females where I'm currently standing by gives you the actual picture of how many are still to come. The population that prays from Chibuli here is bigger than any that you think about. But as of now, you have at least an hour to go, but people have already gathered, and many of them have been sharing with the others the particular benefit of the Idi Adhuha and the celebrations that come with it, realizing that this is the 12th month in the calendar of us, the Muslims, or those that celebrate Islam. It's a 12th month, and that's why you talk of Dhul Hijjah, that's why you talk about the individuals, 500 plus, that went to Mecca to perform their Hajj. And that's what certainly speaks about the essence of this particular month, and what certainly has to come immediately after these that are talking, or those that are already embracing the possession and speaking to them. The bigger message of the individuals here is actually what I have picked the most, not any other person or not anybody in life, and not even in death, should take another person's life. No human blood should ever be lost to nothing, or to not even as a sacrifice. Because if Allah subhanallah wa ta'ala had guidance to at least have a sheep slaughtered instead of a human body, what does that speak to? And what the bigger message has been, especially from the individuals that are coming through here, we've seen the Lord Mayor around, the question of how do you share with the bigger around you? How do you encourage the people around you to delve themselves to get bigger, or to encourage themselves to be closer to God, especially from those that went for Hijjah? Are you just going for Hijjah to perform a ritual as a ritual? Do you come out cleansed or not? Dalton, that's the bigger message as of now here, but we wait to see what the bigger details come out of the different messages. We know the King of Uganda's message will also be delivered here. Even when it was delivered already, we know there'll be a bigger message to be delivered here. Prince Kasim Nachibiga will be here. We'll be waiting on what the key messages go on, and we know that there are different issues that have been rising about. How those are resolved, how they pray about them is a bigger different question. But that is what is currently shaping up here. Several individuals are just still arriving, and in about an hour, we expect ourselves to pray here, Dalton.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar walillahil hamdu. Yes, I'm Sheikh Umar Mobiru from Al-Hidayah Foundation, an Islamic scholar. He's been sharing with us some of the critical issues and the intricacies of these celebrations. I'll definitely further engage him on this matter. Yes, share. As the Muslim ready themselves for this prayer, there are those questions that those that are staying home. You see, what is the message? Those that have not managed, there are those that are on the sick bed, and they would like to partake of this prayer. What does Islam teach about such situations?
Maybe if they are sick, but under all circumstances, all of them are encouraged to go to the mosque or to the prayer place to observe the Eid prayers with others. Even those who are in their messes, you can imagine, though they are not allowed to stand and pray, but they are encouraged to be part of the gathering. Even the maids, whosoever is at home, is encouraged to go and join others. They don't pray, but they can sit and wait for others. However, in circumstances where you can't even make it to the mosque, you are sick, you have issues here and there, you can still pray from your home, so long as you know how to pray, because the Eid prayers have somehow, different versions.
Sheikh Umar, can I pray through television, like I'm watching NBS, the political Salam TV, and the prayers are taking shape, and I get into the mood, play in that place, and Allah will listen to this kind of prayer?
Scholarly, and by majority, is not acceptable. You only need to learn how to make it yourself, because practicing Islam is at individual level. It's obligatory for you to learn how to do certain things. So you can learn how to pray, and you make it from your home, rather than following up on a set. That is what is more recommended. Yes.
All right, definitely, Sheikh, thank you so much. We'll definitely be getting into other aspects of today's celebrations. My name is Dalton Kawesa here. Kim gave me a name, Kamada, for the day. Ahmed for the day. For him, we called it Kamada. So let's go to Busia, where the prayers, so let's tap into these prayers that have already taken shape somewhere in Busia.
ولا تقولوا لمن يقتل في سبيل الله أموات بل أحياء ولكن لا تشعرون ولنبلونكم بشيء من الخوف والجوع ونقص من الأموال والأنفس والثمرات وبشر الصابرين الذين إذا أصابتهم مصيبة قالوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون أولئك عليهم صلوات من ربهم ورحمة وأولئك هم المهتدون إن الصفا والمروة من شعائر الله فمن حج البيت أو اعتمر فلا جناح عليه أن يطوف بهما ومن تطوع خيرا فإن الله شاكر عليم الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. 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 الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. إن الذين قالوا ربنا الله ثم استقاموا تتنزل عليهم الملائكة ألا تخافوا ولا تحزنوا وأبشروا بالجنة التي كنتم توعدون نحن أولياؤكم في الحياة الدنيا وفي الآخرة ولكم فيها ما تشتهي أنفسكم ولكم فيها ما تدعون نزلا من غفور رحيم ومن أحسن قولا ممن دعا إلى الله وعمل صالحا وقال إنني من المسلمين ولا تستوي الحسنة ولا السيئة ادفع بالتي هي أحسن فإذا الذي بينك وبينه عداوة كأنه ولي حميم وما يلقاها إلا الذين صبروا وما يلقاها إلا ذو حظ عظيم وإما ينزغنك من الشيطان نزغ فاستعذ بالله إنه هو السميع العليم. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. الله أكبر.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
Well, we are broadcasting live in different places from the Political Command Center. It is our pledge to you that we will always be there when it matters. That is a pledge as we inform to transform society. And with me, I have Sheikh Umar Mubiru, who will be again delving into the intricacies and the nitty-gritty of today's celebrations. For those that are just joining us, also our sister station, Salam Television, is also live with us. We've been to Busia, and the prayers that are taking place in Busia we've just seen as it continues. I want to get to Sheikh Umar for us to digest the issues of the sacrifice and Islam. So we go to Mecca to renew faith, or one of the pillars that are supposed to be fulfilled. A Muslim that is going to Mecca, or has been to Mecca, or is in Mecca, what would you advise them in order his appeal to Allah, the holy journey that he has undertaken, can be accepted?
Ideally, the basis of going to Mecca, like you've mentioned, is to reconnect with Allah more closely, because the Kaaba is his house, very old. As in fact it is since time immemorial, because Ibrahim and the son Ismail raised the foundation, but it was already there. You can imagine, nobody can even estimate, the number of years it has been there. So reconnecting with Allah.
That is a live feed from Mecca, and I wanted to speak to what is happening in Mecca. We're live also, we're able to bring you what is happening in different places. And this is live from the Holy Land. Yes, Sheikh, as you continue.
Yes. So reconnecting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, going to visit his house, principle is to renew your faith, to kind of get the appreciation that yes, here I am. I have presented myself physically and spiritually to my Creator Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And because the essence is to renew your faith, the one who goes to Mecca is actually advised to avoid any kind of filth, any kind of evil that there could be. So the advice would be that as you come back from Mecca to Uganda, your motherland, then you have to walk the talk, you have to walk the confessions that you make when you're in Mecca. Because one of the symbols that manifest clearly, whether it was a joke or just a trip or something that is truly spiritual, is the way you conduct yourself when you come back. In fact, it is important that when you come back, when the Hajj comes back, you know they are commissioned to be Hajjis or Hajjats yesterday, Yawmul Arafah, because we fasted yesterday. And when you fast a day like yesterday, you are forgiven sins for 2 years, the preceding year and the year ahead. So for some of us who didn't go for Hajj, of course those who are already in the Hajj rituals, they don't fast. But it's also our share.
Is there a blank check? Because if I got you right, Sheikh Umar, you say you are forgiven 2 years before,
and 1 year before and 1 year ahead.
And 1 year ahead. Those are 2 years. Is it a blank check for us to do whatever we want because we know we are going to be forgiven?
That's the exciting, it's a very interesting. Well, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that. That after all, I've been forgiven. Then I'm now in a break. I should
sin, take alcohol.
Then I wait for another year. I fast. Then I'm forgiven. Sins for 2 years. No. It actually teaches you to remain sober, because you have already, softened your relationship with your Creator. So you are now in good books. Okay? So you work hard to make your file more clean, to be cleaner than the way it used to be, so that you always keep on the path of doing good without deviating from what is right.
It's very interesting. So we have gone for prayers. We have prayed. Are there other, apart from after prayers, you go and slaughter? We have people that are in gated residence. Are there some norms, some norms, Islamic calls for people after slaughtering? What should it be like?
Well, the supplication we've just been making is one of the very important, acts of worship. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, till the 3 days ahead. But there are no special norms or special rituals beside the slaughtering. But still, it's a call to everyone's soul that in these days, when you are reciting and supplicating and glorifying God, you also work on your soul so that you don't corrupt your soul. Because the days are blessed, and that means the doors of forgiveness and happiness and success are wide open, and therefore you can't afford to engage yourself, in evil. You try as much as possible to clean your house of the soul, to ensure that whatever is around you is actually pleasing your Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Some years I read about pre-Islamic Arabia and what used to happen in pre-Islamic Arabia, all sorts of things that are unacceptable, but it was the norm in pre-Islamic Arabia. When the Prophet received the message and we spoke about Islam, there are things that changed, things to do with compassion. And we also, as we celebrate, it is one of those things, those tiers, the tenets that it preaches. I want you to make people understand and break it down for them. When Muslims are preaching about compassion, what is the call of duty for a Muslim in this case?
Well, like you've mentioned about the pre-Islamic Arabia, the people were swimming in a pool of evil. They were doing all sorts of funny things, including killing young children. And they were not bothered about the human life. So when we speak about compassion, it gets back to the gist of the celebrations today, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ransomed Ismail with a sheep. So it was an exchange, in other words, for a human life to have an animal to be sacrificed. It actually tells us today that we should condemn as much as possible. We should condemn in the strongest of terms people who play with other people's lives. I was just watching on the slides on NBS a family of 5 being hacked down. You can imagine. People feel they should stay alive while other families are actually sorrowing. So the Quran, in line with compassion, says that if you happen to take away a life, it is as though you have taken away the life of the entire humanity.
All right. Well, very interesting insights from Sheikh Umar Mubiru, who's been educating us, informing us about the Quranic teaching and largely what the Muslims are expected. At this point, the Command Center and by extension Salam Television would like to go to Old Kampala where we have the Muft, Sheikh Mubaje, who's speaking to the believers. Let's go and listen in.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله القائل إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر صدق الله العظيم omugenyi waffe ow'ekitiibwa akiikiridde Prime Minister atasobodde kubeera naffe ankubidde kasimu nga teyewulira bulungi era nga okiwulira ne ku ssimu atumye Hajati Honorable Hajati Misa Kabanda tuli naye wano olwaleero honorable ministers kukiikirira prime minister, deputies, management, members, structures of Supreme Council, abasiramu mwenna, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Eid Mubarak wa kullu amin wa antum bi khair. Mbayoza ku lwange ne Uganda Muslim Supreme Council okubeera nti Allah atusobozesezza n'atuusa ku Eid al-Adhuha ey'omwaka guno ogw'2023 ogw'1444 okuva mu masenguka ga Nabbi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Mwebale kusiiba olunaku lwa Arafa abasiibye era abakyagenda mu maaso n'okusiiba olwaleero. Allah naffe atusonyiwa amazambi nga bw'asonyiye bannaffe abali e Makka abakoze hijja zaabwe ne zibeera hajjan mabruran. Allah akkirize ffenna ummatu Muhammad atusonyiwe olw'okubeera atuusiza mu nnaku zino. Ffenna tuddemu nti amiin. Idi eno yakusala bisolo, Idi al-Adhuha, n'olwekyo tulina kubeera nga asobodde okusala ebisolo asala. Tuleme kulinda ebisolo ebigabibwa abantu gye okubeera nga tunoonya bunoonya naddala abasobola okusala. Kizibu nnyo okulaba nga omuntu akunenya lwaki tewampadde ku nnyama, lwaki temwampadde ku nnyama, naye ng'avuga n'emmotoka esobola okugula ente eziwerera ddala ente 1,000. Nabwe kityo abagenda e Makka, abasobola okugenda e Makka muleme kusabiriza hijja. Bw'obanga osobola okufuna sente zikutwala e Makka, lwaki oyagala bakusondere? Ejjana yiyo. Twenyamira nnyo era tuvumirira ekikolwa eky'abantu abatabanguzi b'emirembe, naddala ekyabaddeyo Kasese, abaana abatalina musango lwe basaliddwa ng'embuzi naye nga basalibwa abantu mbo banoonya kufuga eggwanga oba banoonya buyinza oba banoonya kubeera nga balaga nti b'amaanyi nnyo. Allah yennyini kutonda era atugamba wala taqtulu nafsa allati harrama Allahu illa bilhaq. Temugezangako okutta mwoyo Allah gwe yaziiza okujjako nga waliwo amazima agatuusa okubeera nti omwoyo guvaawo. Tuvumirira nnyo ekitta abantu, tuvumirira nnyo ebijambiya, tuvumirira nnyo entalo kaakati eziri mu mawanga g'Abawarabu n'ensi yonna ezirabika nti ziyiwa omusaayi. Tubasaba babeerenga babeera bantu ba mirembe. Tubasaba muwagire programu za Uganda Muslim Supreme Council nga bwe bategeezezza, kubanga Supreme Council yammwe mwenna. Tusaba okubeera nga gavumenti sebo omugenyi akiikiridde gavumenti enkola ya PDM, Poverty Development, My Parish Development Model, tetuyamba nga abasiraamu kubanga mulimu riba. Tulina enkola eyaffe gye twateeseewo gye twagala tuule ne gavumenti tuteesaganye nga yo nnungiko wakiri babeere nga batukkiriza ffe bennyini tubeere nga tugitambuza wadde gavumenti nga supervising naye nga eri mu halal compliant. Mu mukka gwe gumu njagala kwebaza cabinet nti yayogedde ku ngeri ya halal banking oba sharia banking oba islamic banking okulabika nti etandika okusibwa mu nkola. Twebaza gavumenti era tuusiza okwebaza kwaffe eri His Excellency President okubeera nti ekintu ekyo yakiwomamu omutwe era nga kijja kutuyamba. Empisa ennungi zibeere nga zeeyongera, abasiraamu tubeere nga tweyisa bulungi. Twebaza gavumenti His Excellency President olw'etteeka eryo erigaana ebisiyaga nti ffenna lyatukwatirirako ng'abasiraamu ne bannaddiini. N'olwekyo ffe tusaba okubeera nga gavumenti enywera ebizibu byonna tubitegeera, naye tulina kubeera bagumu Allah okutuusa lwanaagira ki lwanaatutaasa insha allahu taala. Njogera n'omugenyi omukulu naye waliwo amubuzaabuza n'emboozi. Allah ajja kututaasa, n'olwekyo pulezidenti abeere munywevu ku tteeka eryo ery'ebisiyaga. Era amawanga ga Buwarabu gye nabaddeko eyo nga basiima busiimi pulezidenti ng'omuzira, okubeera nga ye mu Afirika yonna yavuddeyo n'agamba nti ffe tulina kubeera abantu, tetuyinza kubeera bisolo oba okubeera ababi okusingako ebisolo. Abasiraamu mwewale nnyo social media. Abantu social media efuuse ekola amazambi okusinga ebirungi byamu. Omuntu avumirako, omuntu bamupangisa n'ayogera by'ayagala, n'akola by'ayagala kubanga teri muntu amutuukako. Ne Allah abalaba tubyewale. Maliriza nga tusabira mukulembeze waffe w'eggwanga yeeyongera okubeera n'obulamu obulungi, era tumwebaza ebyo byagenze ng'akolera eggwanga lino, era tusaba Allah ayongere okumukulembera. Nabwekyo tusabira Right Honorable Prime Minister naye asuuke, ne bannayuganda bonna abali mu mbeera embi, Allah abasaasire. Ladies and gentlemen, in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Eid Mubarak. Let me take this opportunity to congratulate all of you, Muslims in Uganda and the world over, for having reached this day of celebrating the Eid of sacrifice. May Allah reward us all abundantly, and I thank those and I pray for those who were fasting the Arafah day and are still fasting until the end of the Salatul Eid, so that they will break their fast. May Allah also forgive their shortcomings. Our brothers who are in Mecca and Amina are doing most of the rituals today, the Hijr rituals, and let's pray for them that Allah forgives their shortcomings so that they come back as the Prophet promised, that like babies without any sins. We condemn in the strongest terms possible the massacres which took place in Kasese, whereby those criminals massacred innocent children who have no crime at all, mercilessly. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide them, because human beings are supposed to behave like human beings. We condemn those activities of the rebels who aim at soft targets instead of facing face to face with the armed personnel. We also call upon those countries which are fighting, like our brothers in our neighborhood in the Sudan, killing each other for no reason at all, but because of struggle for power and maybe material gains. It is very unfortunate. There are innocent people in Palestine who are being also traumatized, killed, massacred, and are being grabbed of their land. These acts are condemned, and all the global conflict that are taking place, like in Russia and Ukraine. I request you to support Uganda Muslim Council programs. Supreme Council, Uganda Muslim Council is for you. We request the government to provide us a way of support of poverty alleviation program, which is Sharia compliant, as we thank them for passing the laws that will govern the Islamic banking. We thank the government for that. We thank the President for standing very firm in signing the bill of anti-homosexuality into law. We pray for the good health of the President, and let's be good practicing Muslims. Kuntum khaira ummatin ukhrijat linnas. You are the best of the ummah. of all humankind that everybody should follow. So let's not lose that rank. Yeah, the social media is something that is now trending with crime, with insults, with abuses, with everything. Because you have a laptop, you have a computer, you have data, it means now you are free to do anything. But Muslims fear Allah. Use those means to fear Allah and spread the word of La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Not insults, not crimes, not abuses or otherwise. We pray for the good life of the President, the Prime Minister, and all Ugandans that are bedridden, and may Allah give you good wealth and Eid Mubarak, celebrate Eid responsibly. Let me take this opportunity to welcome our guests representing the Right Honorable Prime Minister to give a word, Minister Hajat Misa Kabanda of Kampala.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. His Eminence, the Mufti of Uganda, Muslim Supreme Council, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Hajat Misa Kabanda, the Minister for Kampala Metropolitan Affairs, but today representing the Prime Minister of Uganda. And I bring you greetings from His Excellency the President. I bring you greetings from the Right Honourable Prime Minister, who has failed to come here because she's sick. I've also talked to her because I came here before her. I thought she would come and find me here and welcome her. But unfortunately, she is so sick, she has flu, so she could not come to the public. As you know, COVID and other related conditions. But she has sent you greetings, and I wish you a happy Eid Mubarak. As a Minister for Kampala, I'm also privileged to be here with you, and as a fellow Muslim, as a sister, and as a brother. I'm privileged to be here as a Minister for Kampala. But I wish you the best, and the message for the Prime Minister is not written, but she has sent you greetings. She has said that we should keep peace, love to each other, prosperity, and advocate for peace. And she has told me to encourage you to take our children to school, because we missed education during those days, but at least now we we have more universities, and I thank the Supreme Council because children are going to school. We have all the universities around for Muslims. So, like Muslims, I think we need to talk as Muslims, and we condemn those who killed our people. Smith has talked about Islamic banking. We passed Islamic banking in cabinet, and I wish to tell you that we are going to start Islamic banking. Islamic banking is on board. It's only the banks which are going to practice it, but don't hesitate. We are going to start Islamic banking. About PDM and other government-related activities, President in Masaka talked about it, that we should, as Muslims, he's going to sit with us, he's going to sit with the leaders, he's going to sit with Uganda Muslim Supreme Council to see how Muslims are going to benefit in government programs. And I know soon we are going to sit with them, inshallah, and see how we are going to be assisted. Because we are left behind because of the Liba issue. I'm not a sheikh, I don't know how it is done, but at least this, with the knowledge, are going to sit with us, and you are going to benefit in government programs, I'm assuring you. Secondly, Islam is a religion of peace, is a religion of love, so we should love each other. Let's work as a team. Let us unite as Muslims. I have a case as a Muslim. I've been going to Saudi Arabia for over 20 years and above. And I've been taking care of Muslims going to Saudi Arabia as a medical personnel. But this time, there are some Muslims who did not go to Mecca. They had paid, they did not go, just because of certain issues. And before coming here, I had discussed with the Mufti of Uganda that how can someone pay money, then reaches the airport, and you tell him he has no, or she has no visa. Imagine, what if you're not going to live for long? What if you're going to die this year? But you paid too much money, and you have some MPs who also paid, and they complained to us. They complained in cabinet that they had paid money, so we should look into those issues. How can you pay such an amount of money? Others who went late were asked to pay some more money, $600 and $500 for an extra pay for the tickets, because there were no planes. So that means as Muslims, as leaders of Islam, we should look into that issue seriously. See, those people who got money from our colleagues and they did not perform hijab. So great, it's so strange, paying money. Because those who have not gone to Saudi Arabia, you don't know what happens when they tell you are going to Saudi Arabia, and then they leave you at the airport. Some were left at the airport, some collapsed, some are still in the hospital just because of that issue. So as leaders, Muslim leaders, we should look into that issue. It's a serious one, and it involves everybody, because it's not for only one person. Second, we've talked about riba. Riba, as Muslims, are not supposed to borrow money with riba, with interest. So we are going to work on that. I've not also borrowed money from Parliament, because for us we have all those chances, but because of riba, we cannot borrow. So Mufti, I'm assuring you, we are going to work on that. Second, about the homosexuality, I also thank the President that at least he stood firm. He stood firm and fought homosexuality in Islam. It's not so common in Islam, by the way. It's only in those other countries. But at least he followed us and he succeeded in signing it. And we thank him for that. Secondly, I thank Mufti because he has prayed for his life. Of recent, he has been very sick. But at least has prayed for his life, and I urge you, please pray for the President, because President loves you, President loves Islam, and I know he loves us. So let's remain united, let's work as Muslims, and let's love each other. Because I can come here and say I'm a Muslim, and say, that one, no. But yet we are all sisters and brothers. Please kindly, let's share the love, let's practice Islam as it's supposed to be. Basebo ne bannyabo ndi musanyufu okubanga ndi wano nga nkiikidde Right Honourable Prime Minister, nsoose okwebaza His Eminence the Mufti of Uganda olw'okuba nti abaddewo wano, olw'okuba nti asabidde omukulembeze w'eggwanga n'okunzikiriza okwogerako gye muli.
Well, that is the Minister of Kampala, Hajat Minsa Kabanda, who's delivering the message from the President. Like Sheikh Mubaji, the Supreme Mufti, highlighted, the third Prime Minister is indisposed, and traditionally, he is always expected to be at Old Kampala delivering the President's message, or the President has not attended some of these big Muslim functions, especially Adhuha celebration. General Moses Ali, who is indisposed, is supposed to deliver this message. However, the President delegated the Minister in charge of Kampala, Mr. Kabanda, to speak on his behalf. Now, let's go to Busia, where we have Haj Karim. Haj Karim has been under Salam Charity, transversing this country and making sure that Salam Charity builds mosque, reconstruction of some of these dilapidated mosques. And I want to hear from what takes him to Busia. Haj Karim, Eid Mubarak, and I would love to hear from you why you are there. First of all, Eid Mubarak and Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dalton, thank you very much. We are here in Busia at the border of Uganda and Kenya. Too much excitement. Everybody is excited. I don't know why the excitement is there, but I have been whispered by some of the people who came for prayers, especially the leaders, that it is the first time they are seeing one of the heads of Salam Television being around, and this has attracted various medias that have come to cover the Eid prayers here at Busia. It is a huge excitement. They always say, the Baganda particularly, they say, nta atanayita yatenda mama we okufumba obulungi. I have also stepped a leg here at Busia. What I have seen, I've never seen it in Kampala. People are many, people come big in numbers, and more particularly, they come at praying grounds very, very early in the morning. By 7, the praying ground is already full. You see everywhere where they are supposed to hold the Eid prayers, everybody has already reported, unlike other places we have been visiting. So as I speak now, people have already deserted the place behind me. As you see, it was filled to capacity, and this is the sitting of the district of Busia. We prayed with him and all the district leaders who have delivered the message, starting with the head of state, His Excellency, the President of Uganda, Kaguta Yoweri Museveni, and they have wished to everyone, including me and you, Dalton. They have appreciated our coming here at Busia. Besides other districts where we have sent our people, we want to make sure that we see what happens in the upcountry. We have come with a huge delegation of our partners from Europe, Australia, Turkey, and Germany, who are here to make sure that people in Busia enjoy. In fact, in a few hours, minutes, like 40 minutes, we expect the third deputy prime minister, Honorable, the Right Honorable Rukia Nakadama, will be joining us to make sure that he launch the slaughtering, which is expected to be here in Busia. We expect to slaughter a Salam charity over 2,000 animals in remembrance what Abraham did on this day. As you see what is happening in Saudi Arabia, in Mina, where I am very sure that you are well connected with our team, which is in the ground, showing us what is happening, throwing stones and so on and so forth, which I will not go into details. I know, Dalton, you have done a great job. So, as I wind up, I can assure you that here in Busia, everything is okay, and from here, we are going to be slaughtering animals to all the neighboring districts, eastern region. Both cows, goats, sheep will be slaughtering and delivering to those people really who are in need. Slaughtering doesn't mean that this meat is to be eaten by the people in need. Even Dalton, be rest assured that your cow will be in my boot of my car as I come back. You will be the beneficiary of the animals we are going to slaughter today. Greetings to my team. I have a very big team here in Busia, led by Hassan Sibu, International, Sebu River, and the rest of the team are doing well. Thank you so much for giving us this chance to brief you what is happening in Busia.
Well, Haj Karim, before I let you go, the Baganda say that Tumo Mkulu Tamagamaga, imagine a whole director turning into a foot soldier. You are proactive always. Thank you very much. At this point, we want to appreciate Haj Karim, who is a director at Next Media, but is now a foot soldier, like we call them, reporting live from Busia. Now, let's go to Chibuli, where the Kutuba, or the preaching is already taking shape. Let's partake over the message from Chibuli.
Muchanga bayingira mu mikolo gya hijja teri asala njala teri amwa kirevu teri asala kantu konna embeera gibalimu olunaku olwaleero olunaku olusinga okuba olusibe ennyo ku muntu agenda okubeera haji oba hajati nti gye baasire bayimiridde mu lusenyu Arafa ne bavaamu ng'enjuba egudde ne batambula okugenda e Muzalifa distance eriwo ziri kilomita nga 5 oba 4 naye ng'otambuzawo bigere oluusi ne musula ku musenyu ne balondawo amayinja bakedde okusala subuhi ne batambula okugenda okuba ekiwaji Mina nawo oliwo distance ya kilomita nga 5 bwe banamala okuba ekiwaji balina okutambula okugenda e Makka Muharamu beetole Kaaba tawaafu ifadha okwetoloola okwa faradha bwe banaamala bakole saayi badduke Safa ne Marwa lunaku lusinga okuba hectic oluzibu ennyo ku muntu agenze e Makka era agenze nga tamanyi bulungi kibiri waatuukayo yejjusa aga nsinga namanya saalize wabeera mukyaka fe abasigadde eno kikye tulina okukola Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fenna Allah atwagala yakoola abantu n'agamba Ibrahimu adhin fi nnaasi bilhajj koola abantu bajje bakole hijja Ibrahimu yakikola n'akoola Allah bwe yayanukula bagenda eriyo ataawulira tajja kgenda mu Uganda abagenze abakoze hijja bakutte milioni ezitaka wansi wa milioni 2 ne baziwaayo banoonya ki si kusuubula tebagenda kufuna amagoba ga dunia. Over 20 million has been spent to pay for the pilgrimage of Makkah wal Madina. Bawadde milioni 2 ezitaka wansi wa 2 kugenda kulambula nyumba ya Allah na kuteeka eryo Allah liyabassaako nga kyebanoonya liyashhadu manafi'a lahum bategeere oba balabe bakakase emigaso gyabwe. Waliyo emigaso ky'Emaka ne Madina. E Madina we wali omuzikiti gwokka mu nsi yonna nga bw'osaaliramu eswala emu ofunamu 1,000 bakubandikako 1,000. Wano bwe tusaala olunaku eswala tufune emu oba 2 ng'osadde ejjama naye bw'osaalira muzikiti Madina ofuna 1,000. Mu nsi yonna okutambula okuva e Mashariki mpaka Magharibi twaliwo osanga akafo kayitibwa ka Bujjana kali Madina. Nabbi yagamba nti ma baina baiti wa mimbari rawdatun min riyadil janna. Akafo akali wakati w'ennyumba yange ne mimbari kuyasimira nga asaaza abantu yagamba akafo ka Bujjana. Omuntu yagenze Makka okola hijja yafunye chance okutuulako mu Bujjana oba okuyimirako mu Bujjana gw'ataagenze ne boona ogenda e China ne boona ogenda e Hong Kong tojja kasangayo liyashhadu manafi'a lahum. 3 abagenze Makka ne bagendako e Madina ne bagenda muzikiti guyitibwa Quba. Nabbi sallallahu yagamba nti man rak'ataini fi masjidil Quba okusalira akabiri muzikiti gwe Quba tu'adilu umra ofuna empeera nga akoze umra. Omwaha guno abakoze umra mwasasule milioni ezitaka wansi wa 10 ogenda okukola umra. Naye yagenze Makka yakubye ekinyonyi 2 n'ejjinja 1 yagenze okukola hijja haina agenda e Quba bwe yabasalira akabiri Mungu n'amuwaleko nti akoze ne umra. 4 yagenze Makka bw'aba asaaliddeko muzikiti gwe Haram swala emu tu'adil 100,000 swala. Swala emu yafunyemu eswala emitwalo 10. Eno ne bw'osaala ekyaddondo n'okuta ekyenyi okuva ku subuhi mpaka Magharibi kizibu okoze emitwalo 10 gya swala. Naye yagenze Makka yagifunye. Mu lunaku luno olusibu ennyo eri bannaffe abagenze Makka ffe twabadde tusiiba wano bo babadde tebasiiba olw'ekizibu kibaliko. Nabbi yagamba sallallahu alayhi wa sallam nti omuntu asiiba olunaku lwa Arafa olwabadde eggulo olwajjo Mungu amusangulako ebintu by'omwaka guno gwonna byakoze. Wasiibye Musiraamu bw'oba wasiibye gamba alhamdulillah Mungu akkiriza okusiiba. Si ekyokka Nabbi n'atugamba nti Allah takoma kwekyo kyokka amusonyiwa mu advance ebyo byanakola omwaka ogujja. La hawla wala quwwata illa billah. Allah ng'atwagala abasiraamu, Allah ng'atwagala bakusonyiwa emyaka omwaka guwedde gwonna mulamba ne byonookola mu advance nabo bakusonyiwe. Lwaki tosiiba? Eyalidde emmere inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un ojja kwejjusa olyejjusa noga nti singa namanya nga walidde emmere olunaku lwajjo ogenda kwejjusa di kalla sawfa ta'lamun. Allah yagamba nti kyaddaaki ojja kukiraba ojja kwejjusa nti ya rabbi singa nasiiba just one day fasting only one day and Allah wiped out all your sins for the whole year and the coming year. Kibeera kiti ekyo ab'omulembe guno tutegere nnyo technology. Allah okusangula ebyono talina kyawuliramu. Abalina amasimu bw'onyiga delete ekubuuza delete all oba bw'onyiga all byonna byerimu byonna bisanguka within a second. Ne Allah bw'atyo wakola okudeletinga ebyono byaffe talina kyasalwa talina kyakendeerako. Eyasiiba olunaku lwajjo Mungu akkirize okusiibako Mungu ayinza okuba yakusanguddeko byonna byewakola mu mwaka oguwedde n'omwaka guno ogujja Mungu n'agamba nti naye akusonyiye ki ekirimu ekyo omuntu ayagala okuwangaala fena twagala obuwangaazi ayagala okuwangaala wali badde olunaku lwagi walusiibye lwaki nti wabannabbi yagamba nti Mungu akusonyiwa omwadivasi byonookola ekitegeeza nti okyawangalayo omwaka omulala Mungu asobola okusonyiwa kati ate asiibye oli layikira okufa omwaka guno ogujja kuba tulina garanti abaasiya balina garanti nti balina okukola ebyonoono mu mwaka mulamba Allah abasonyiwe ekyo no kyekyama ekiri mu kusiiba olunaku lwa Arafa Allah agamba mu Qur'ani أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ومن الناس من يقول آمنا بالله وباليوم الآخر وما هم بمؤمنين مبانtu mulimu abagamba nti bakkiriza Allah n'olunaku lw'enkomerero naye nga Allah agamba nti abantu abo si bakkiriza balimba yukhadi'una Allah walladhina amanu bakwenya Allah n'abakkiriza wama yakhda'una illa anfusahum wama yash'urun omuntu yakutte bukadde abiri n'abuwaayo kugenda nga anoonya jjana Mungu musonyiwa gwe Allah n'agamba nti salambuzi just kabuzi ka mitwalo 3 omuntu yenna ayina akola ng'oli musomesa ofuna emitwalo 4 ba 5 osobola okusala embuzi omuntu akola ewamukwano ng'ofuna emitwalo 6 osobola okusala embuzi omuntu alina akaduuka ng'osobola okufiisa emitwalo 5 buli lunaku osobola okusala embuzi lwaki togenda kusala ofiirwaki ku mitwalo 3 kikyofiirwa bali bano nga bawaddeyo obukadde 20 abamu bukadde 3 kugenda kusaba Allah basonyiwe gwe weesigudde na kiki kyolina weesiga ki kiswaza oba wadde kimanyi omusajja omukulu atuludde olunaku luno ogenda ku mudaala nti ogenda gula nnyama kiswaza ne malayika zikukonga era bamusajja ono yenna ogenda kugula nnyama ku mudaala olwaleero nno ogenda gula kiro mmeka olina abaana 4 waliwo omukozi onna n'omukyala kale ogenda gula kiro mmeka kuba olunaku lwaleero akukwata nti okwasa baana buti nga buliko emisito gy'ennyama buli mwana ayo kye waayagala evvumbe linyooke ku kyalo olwaleero n'enkya n'okwosa enkya naluli kulya nnyama. By the way, mu Busiraamu we don't have vegetarian in Islam. Teri bya vegetarian mu Busiraamu. Bw'oba muze ndi vegetarian eyo bibyo tereera mu Busiraamu. Nabbi talina we yagambye nti wano otatira okujjamu ekulwaza ng'ogiridde naye bino byetutamu oluzungu oyakuwangala emyaka 15 ani yakudima nti bw'olya cabbage ng'owangala emyaka 15 muli bubeesi bakoze timwagala kula nnyama waka mwerimbika mu byakubeera vegetarian. There is no vegetarian in Islam. Teri byakulya greens mu Busiraamu lya n'ennyama zino ennaku 3 za kulya nnyama. Genda osale embuzi buli mwana omusimba luliko ebifi 6 olwaleero osobola kulya bufiififi kulya biyungula bakadde baffe Mungu abasaasire abatuzaala wallahi twayagalanga ebintu etuuka ddi ng'oswata oluti bulwanvu oluti n'ogenda n'oyokya n'olya embisi n'olya esiridde n'olya tewali taabu nakulwa kulya ennyama nakulwa kusanyuka naye oli ku mudaala ogula mpayo kiro 2 n'okoza ne mu birabira ntemerawo ku kabirizi awo kiro 2 haji mulamba tosobola gula mbuzi oba nte n'ogisala tosobola tuwa planning bw'opulanga nogaa nti buli mwezi ngenda kuterekanga emitwalo 5 buli mwezi Jaidil Adhuha wallahi mwaka ogenda okutuuka nga osobola okusala ente osobola okusala ente bana akabokisi abantu mu planning okugula iPhone abavubuka nogaa nteeka okukola iPhone 14 sene meka bukadde buna wallahi nja gikolerera olayira ki wallahi ku iPhone. What do you benefit from iPhone, from buying an iPhone? Ofuna muki teeka wakasande kandi wallahi nteeka okusala embuzi nteeka okusala ente omwaka guno ofuna akasanduku ng'osulamu akasente k'ofiisa 5 omutwalo omwaka ogenda okuggwako ng'osobola okusala naye tupulaninga bya iPhone tupulaninga bya kugenda ku biici titupulaninga bya Allah bannange wano ku musibiri w'akaseera katono tukole nnyo ng'okolera Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ng'ovuganya n'abo banno abagenze e Makka bawaddeyo sente nnyingi basuze babonabona lwalillah subhanahu wa ta'ala gwoli wano otudde entende bakugambye okusiba olunaku lwa Arafa lwakulemye n'okusala togenda kusala inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi rajiun. Bannange aya gyensomye Allah gandi mu bantu mulimu abagamba nti amanna billahi tukkiriza Katonda olunaku lw'enkomerero naye nga sibakkiriza Allah gandi wamahum bimuminina sibakkiriza. Njagala aya tugikyusemu katono tugise mu politics mu bufuzi waliwo abantu ebintu ebiri mu ggwanga olwaleero nsaba abali mu buyinza bakanule ku maaso bazuukuke. Waliwo abantu abagala okubasuula naye nga temumanyi nga beefuula nti bo bali pro-government, bali pro-movement. Nenga wamahum bimu'minina. Nga wallahi siba movement, baba limba. Yukhadi'unakum, baba kwenya. Kulensonga, ntifenafena tuchimanyi, omuntu yenna itiwa nti muntu, aliko strings of people. Every man on earth had strings on him. Abera ne baganda be, n'abera n'abako, n'abera ne obis, n'abera ne ogis, n'abera ne bakola nabo workmates, n'abera ne abana abantu bangi. Once you arrest someone and you deny him bail, bw'okwata omuntu n'omusiba awatali nsonga ne batamuleta mu kooti kuwoza, abantu bali bonna obasuubira kubeera ki? Kusanyuka. Bagenda kukukyawa. Mukoddomi oyo yaga nti bannaye mukodde bamukwata kiki? Tetumanyi. Aliye bamusibira tetumanyi. Banyina bana kiki bamusiba kiki tetumanyi. Oyo anaayagala gavumenti oyo. So nga tolina kukwata kugira ono gw'okwata. Government, look into your security people. What is the objective? Kigendererwa ki kibaagala? Lwaki batulugunya abantu? Lwaki okwata omuntu n'omusiba awali kozi n'otwala mu kooti omwaka mulamba emyaka 2? Abantu bonna abali ku muntu oyo w'otumanya abasukka emitwalo n'emitwalo. Kuba omuntu abaka abantu abawera emitwalo. Nga bwe mbagambye, abooluganda be yasoma nabo, mikwano gye, ab'okukyalo, gattako ab'eddiini ye. Bw'aba musiraamu abasiraamu nafu banyiiga naye musiraamu batukwata nezi baba kyayisa. So wake up. You have sabotagers in the government, in security. Nga beefulanga bakolera government naye nga mu butuufu basula kusula government. Eno government yalondewa abantu. Lwaki abantu batwala mu makooti? Lwaki teweebuuzaako nti ebintu nga beeyi eri too much? Nakyogerako era kiddamu. Sente ze tulina olwaleero twali tuziwaanyisa eno gavumenti ng'eze mu buyinza, baatusanga n'ensimbi ng'emiliyoni 1 egula ekibanja egula ploti ye 100 ku 100. Sente ze twalina by then ze bajjawo emiliyoni ng'ogula ettaka ekibuye ng'ogula ettaka ennajja nankumbi ku miliyoni emu. Gavumenti ne bwe yajja n'egamba nti ezo sente tezirina value, tuleese sente zirina value zisinga ne $. Ng'emiliyoni mbatwamu siringi kasanvu mu miliyoni yalegula ekibanja. Nogane mukwate bulungi sente zino za bei. Naffe gadi alhamdulillah tugenda kukwata kusa ezisinga ne $. Olwaleero ffenna tuli bajulizi. Kasanvu kagola muti gwa sabbuuni. Akasanvu ke twawanisa mu miliyoni. Tukagola muti gwa sabbuuni. Ate si ffenna tusooka kufuna akasanvu. Eri abagula obutole tasobola kufuna kasanvu. Muti gwa sabbuuni. Omugaati tugula singi 6. Kugaba mitwalo 9. Kati ffe abalina sente mu biseera biri bwe waawanyisa buli lwengula sabbuuni nga miliyoni namba zenguzeemu omuti gwa sabbuuni muli nkifiiringa. Omugaati singi 6 kiro y'ennyama mutwalo 1.5. Kugamba ennyama nyiguza miliyoni 2 kumpi miliyoni 1.5 za sente ekiro emu. Ebintu ebulala tuyinza okwagala ebigenda mu maaso, tuyinza okwagala gavumenti. Lwaki temu planning? Omumpulira waliwo simanyi minister of planning and simanyi for social development. What do you plan? Mu planning biki? Emiwedo Nigeria pika. Muli awo mugamba ensi ekulaakulana. Wa the situation of economic n'ataso osobola okitegeera. Nti olwaleero kufa abali wano ayambadde byonna nga byambadde bipya ani okuva ku nkufiira esaati ekanzu n'engato nga bipya ali luddawa. Bw'oba ng'oli gamba nti alhamdulillah. Wallahi abasinga obungi bw'ayambala esaati nga mpya engato gubeera muvumba. Abasinga obungi okwambala ejaketi nga mpya mpozi nga watambulako jaketi twambala mivumba. Esaati naye ekotunuulira esaati z'olina mu wardrobe olinamu empya mmeka nga ziwakola nti eyo mpya olinamu mmeka zonna mivumba, engato zonna mivumba. And we boast nti tuli bulungi tukulaakulanye. Nedda basebo twali tukula ffe sitwayambalako mivumba. Bakitaffe atuguliranga ngoye empya. Uniform twayambalanga yamato nga bazikolerawo. Empala nga twambala kachi bazikolera wano. Twayambalanga jinja nightil nga dwa lupya. Essuka tusula mu mpya. Olwaleero singana omuntu kagamba nti munange essuka enkadde zibanga okusinga empya. Can you imagine? Tolanga obwongo bwesulika. Essuka enkadde ne zibanga ngomu okusinga empya kijja mu magezi. Obwongo bwabusulika. Olwo bwavu obungi. Zosula muli azisula mutu banyo bayali mulwadde waki oba yafiiramu owuza suuke nga desinga empya. Sebo ogende manga eno fune saati nga temanyi mpya. Bannange fene twakulanga emivumba tugiraba java katuna bagati ayambadde katuna abeeyo bayambalanga emivumba sitoyambalanga mivumba abeeno nga tugita kisuumu abeeyo besooka kudda eri ono ayambaire kisuumu ngomanya nti ayambadde muvumba ffe nga twambala mpya olwaleero ffenna abaana muvumba abakyala mivumba n'akaana akazaalibwa akato osangayo nga omukazi ali kukunkumula bwana bwa bebi mwana muto omwana yazaalibwa nga asookera mu mivumba mu nsi baraka kizaafuna abali mu buyinza bannaffe high time that you plan for us, plan for this nation, plan for our people. Muli eyo mwebase basi muwoze ensi ekola tuzise mabega okuva n'ogenda ejjinja nosasula mutwalo gwa sente motoka ali wano ng'ovuga emmotoka 2023 simanyi nti waali simanyi mbuusabuusa ng'oli wano ng'olina emmotoka modo 2023 goba wanjawulo nnyo tuvuga emmotoka ya myaka 2 yaleese empya eri ku namba ki UBS simanyi si BM tuvuga namba z'empya mutuuza motoka mpya motoka ya mwaka 19 simanyi 2015 yatuusiza mpya eri ku namba ki UBM mulembe ejayita abashafu bakitafu bavuga motoka nga mpya 0 mileage nakibagamba da tata wange yagula Honda Accord emitwalo 4 awo mu Uni Motors emitwalo eki nga mileage liko 000 emitoka giriko buveera waliwo n'akawowo kyakamanya akawowo k'emmotoka empya ina akawowo kewunya kanjawulo naye zino ejaffe emivuma zituvuga towuliramu kawowo konna ya myaka 10 bagivuga ziri ku mileage mitwalo 8 mbuyaguze empya bannange tuli bubi. It's high time abali mu buyinza batuplaningireko ayendaffe tuyitize dduwa twambale ku ngoye empya bana yokwambalenga zitaliyo abantu tuwunye ebigere ennaku zino because of those old shoes abantu bawunye ebigere engato z'yamba tumanyi yali mulwadde waki. Allahu akbar. Aqulu qawli hadha wastaghfirullah li wa lakum wa lisani min kulli dhanbin fastaghfiruhu innahu huwal ghafurur rahim wa huwa tawwabur rahim. Allahu akbar. Allahu akbar. Allahu akbar. Allahu akbar kabira walhamdulillahi kathira wa subhanallahi bukratan wa asira. La ilaha illa Allah wahdahu la sharika lahu lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. Ibadallah usiwe nafsi wa anfusakum bitaqwallah. Badu ba Allah ngatumaliza kutuba yaffe yonna ku lwaleero buli ali wano manya nti ekifo ky'olimu nsigo akisookamu ate sigo ojja okusembayo. Basiraamu tuyambagane bana Uganda twagalane. Lwaki onyigiriza banne kigenze ewala? Tomanyi nti waliwo nnaku yawmul hisab yawma yaqumu nnasu li rabbil alamin. Tomanyi nti walina okulojokera mu maaso ga Allah akubuuza akana n'akataano tokimanyiiko ekyo musiraamu? Lwaki onyigiriza banno? Bannaye twagalane nga twagana okututula mu swala nga ffenna tewaliwo njawulo gye tuba tubeera n'ebweru eyo. Obuyinza bwonna bw'olina leka don't over exercise it. Tolaga nnyo maanyi g'oli. Twali tulabye ab'amaanyi bangi tolina kyoli. Aye si gwe asembyeyo ojja kuvaawo. Buli kyonna kyoli mu boli headmaster si gwe asooseewo. Waliwo abakusookawo ate ojja kuva wali wajja okuddawo. Ero si chairman si gwe asoose ate si gwe asembyeyo. Lwaki munyigiriza abantu? Lwaki mulinda abantu bamale kwekalakaasa? Nabagambye nti muno mu gavumenti mulimu abasabugitaginga abanoonya gisula naye nga tebamanyi. Aye ne gavumenti neesigaliza nti babayamba nnyo. Nze nakulira mu Kampala muno ng'okuva e Masaka okutuuka e Kampala tolina osanga kinnya wadde akatiro bakati walingawo department wagita PIDA nga ba PIDA awo mulimu gwa kutereeza nguudo awonoonese okusaawa omuddo ku mabbali n'okutakako emyala egitwala amazzi nga ne bwogenda esemba buli luguudo lwa ttaka naye ng'ovuga speed 120 mu lw'ettaka because of the PIDA people. Mu Kampala wano ng'osangawo ekinnya. Allahu akbar. Ne wallahi summa wallahi tuli balyazaamaanyi. Abantu ne beekalakaasa olw'ebinnya abali mu buyinza muleta ettaka ne muzibawo ttaka. Are you serious you people? N'oteeka ettaka mu kolansi kati ate mu ttaka mwenateeka yooki muziriza ettaka yo mugenda kuteeka yooki mu kolansi mwatadde mu ttaka kakali mu kolansi mugenda kuteeka yooki. Bana lwaki temutubala mu magezi? sente ziragawa sente muzitwala kuki naye katwogereko nammwe kasera kwogerako mu Kampala genda kusapula kagwa ttaka wano kasero wano wakati in the middle of the city bataddewo mumala mu ttaka enkuba kati erimu kutonya in 2-3 weeks genda tudde mu binnya byaffe lega no change temuli serious etala ku street bannange Sheikh agambye wano yabadde America n'abali e Makka twali tugende Makka omulundi gumu omusiraamu yava bugerereeyo n'agamba Sheikh nze nase neetegese ondi kiki naguze torch ne peya z'amanda 6 kuba musanyalaze ganyiza okuvaako emuna egisimanyi ne mugamba nti omenyekedde bwereere gye tugenda lairuha kanahariha ekiro banga misana tojja kwakisa toshiyo mpaka lwono okumawo era bwe kyali nanga seka wallahi wangame kigambo omanyi nagezaako mulisenga sewe mulisa buli omunga waka naye ffe wafu wano sente nyingi amasanyalaze gava wano waffe ekigaana okuteeka street lights ku nguudo kyekyaki enzikiza n'ebeera nyingi obutemu ne bweyongera naye nga tutunula butunuzi banaye waliwo basabotages mu gavumenti eno gavumenti banaye mukanula amaaso muzuukuke bagenda basuula abantu betamiddwa kalungi ki banaabogerako tutwasulanga mu Kampala muno amaduuka g'e Kampala ago tegaalibako bijji bino bya byuma kubadde ndabirwamu ng'ekiro okuva ku ssaawa emu twakola nekiyitwa window shopping ng'otambula Kampala road n'olaba abaleese essaawa empya zirado naye ng'akomawo musirikale alina kibatuuni teyalinanga mundu batuuni n'olaba amasuuti n'emmotoka bazibeera mu window shop kati bagala kukola emmotoka ogenda bazita mu bondi n'osanga emivumba gy'emmotoka giri eyo ngenze mu bondi ffe zalinga mu maduuka wali kupa motors afro motors emmotoka ziri mu maduuka bazitundanga binyiiba okebera eniyasente meka pijot 7,000 egya Uganda 7,000 olwaleero okugula emmotoka empya okyejjusa abali mu revenue kansembyeyo namwe simanyi bampulaninga owanze etegera obulala simanyi naye nooba nti walinga okiryaninga containers ezisuka mu 1,000 mu lunaku lumu before some years back you used to clear over 1,000 containers a day olwaleero yakiryangi 20 containers noga nti tukola era tuli economy egenda waggulu really twagendanga eri mu kontera gundi nga osimba line nga tulera zipakize n'ebweru zaka kuzikalinga ng'abantu baleeta ebyobusuubuzi naye omuntu olwaleero agenda n'asuubula ebintu y'amasannyalaze ya $5,000,000 n'asasula $5,000,000 ne bamujjako omusolo $1,500,000 oba 2 nagana kale kangume n'atitenekanya n'addayo mu myezi 2 n'aleeta same quality same quantity nagana luli mwazijjako $2,000,000 nagana leero jakasula $4,000,000 what kind of business is that mwagala abantu bakole batya oba temumanyi bane muyiteeko mu maduuka ffe tubeera mu biduuka ebyo amaduuka makalu abantu basenguse mu maduuka maggale tebalina ssente jo nabadde ludda nebasiba amaduuka gonna wali mundeeba aba revenue simenya aba revenue amaduuka gonna ne bagasiba gonna aba city council lwaki temufuna basirikale tetulina mirimu mu Uganda kyensembya nakyo tetulina mirimu mu Uganda bavubuka bangi tebalina mirimu lwaki temulukuti nga basirikale bavubuka ne muteka ku street abasirikale 10 ng'omulimu gwabwe kugamba muntu ayagala kutunda bintu tatutundira wano vaawo gundi vaawo just like easy vaawo tutundirawo naye noleta pick up erikabe emundu nezakase piki ogenda kwata batunda nyanya balina emundu abatunda ennyanya muli kupita bewonese kuli bonna bageze embuto muli ku bintu mubba bubbi bantu n'ositula ennyanya n'ositula ku pick up n'oteekako entula n'oteekako emifaliso n'oteekako ekufulu byonna bira ng'oyiyiyawo mbuto tebizibiti kati bwe mutuukayo mu social media nti zino ennyanya zabadde zoono kufulu zabadde zoolyo muzibaddiza naye olina azimba we are keep city clean ng'obba bubbi bantu abantu bagambe nti banaye temutundirawo oteekako abasirikale nga bangi tebajja kubeerawo naye tuli awo maanyi oli n'agezi bonna bagezi naye ogeze ki muganda wange ng'oli ku haramu oliisa abantu bu haramu oliisa mukyala wo haramu oyambala haramu wabbye bantu bakaaba banonya school fees w'abaana baabwe gwe nojja n'oyoola mugabe ntoteekawo ensi endala zikola zitya abasirikale ba poliisi ekigambo summons kyalagawa to summon someone kyalagawa nze nakula ndaba omuntu wazi omusango bamuweza samanisi bayitanga samanisi bakuyita ku poliisi omuntu n'atambula n'agenda bw'atuuka wayenga jjamu engato n'azijjamu ne bamusiba mu ngeri ya kimpowooze naye bano bwe tulina oba tebalina babatraininga batasimanyi bagenda ne bakwata MP nolowooza bakutte mubbi wante oba mubbi wa nkoko ne bamukwata jeke ne bamukasuka ku pick up subhanallah tuli mu ggwanga kibannange bannange gavumenti abo those are the sabotagers baagala basula temuganda nti babakolerera muzukuke bannange nze mbalabudde abo baagala basuula kifaananyi kyemulaga abantu omuntu oyo akiikirira abantu mitwalo na mitwalo mumukutewe muti bagenda kukwagala bwemukeerekera bakuba akalulu nga batubbye akalulu naye nga abantu bakoowu just mukyuseemu system omuntu mukwade mugambe nti bakuyita ku poliisi talina muntu gwegenda okwala talina wadde akaso wadde jirita naye n'omutwalira RPG alinga ali mu tanka kiki kimulaga maanyi ki banaye ab'amaanyi baali babaddewo mutereeze banaye neggwanga lyaffe tetugenda kuvaamu nkya tugenda kufiira wano kano tekalekeka omuvubuka w'emyaka 36 oba 4 okugenda ebulemeezi oba e Masaka oba luddawa n'osengula abasajja b'emyaka 8 mu ttaka lyo walijjawa abantu b'emyaka 8 bw'olina emyaka 4 muve ku ttaka lyange ttaka lyo mu myaka 4 musiraamu walijja luddawa banaye ebintu ebiri wano biseesa naye nga ate bya nnaku nnyo bwaba akafaananyi gwe teri kintu kiringa hijira mu busiraamu tugoberera kalenda ya Rasulullah nga tugoberera hijira olunaku lyasenga okuva e Makka okugenda e Madina tetugoberera nnaku lyafa oba lyazaalibwa tugoberera olunaku lyasenguka lwaki okusenguka kintu kizibu nnyo olaba ova buvi mu muzigo bwayise nodda ekibuye naye obuzibu ofuna mu kusengukawo ebintu byatika ebimu byonooneka bizibu naye okukujja ku kibanja kubazaalira jjajjaawo ne jjajja wa jjajjaawo ne kitaawo akavubuka nakajja muve ku ttaka nze muve kuno ne wawaga tewaliiwo bannaye abantu bali mu bulumi bw'amaanyi ettaka lyonyaga libagenda okuziikamu naye wallahi lijja kukwata likunyige likubuuza owaayi wanzija luddawa ojja kufa yagala gaana ate bagenda kuziika mu ttaka eryo liwabba eryo naye lijja kukwata biriisigana gundi wanzija luddawa naliriwo oli ejjusa ate nga tokyadda ku nsi kuno bannaye bwe tubula ebintu nga tuteekamu common sense amagezi ag'obuntu twagalane tuyambagane abali mu buyinza mwegendereze nnyo abagamba mubabakolerera baagala basuula inna allaha malaikata yusalluna ala nabi ya ayuha alladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima qala sallallahu alayhi wa sallam man salla alayhi salatan wahida sallallahu biha ashar allahumma salli ala muhammad wa ala ali muhammad kama sallaita ala ibrahima wa ala ali ibrahima wa barik ala muhammadin wa ala ali muhammad كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد وارض اللهم عن خلفاء رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم خصوصا منهم أبو بكر وعمر وعثمان وعلي وأنصار الصحابة رضوان الله أجمعين اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم آت نفوسنا تقواها وزكيها أنت خير من زكاها اللهم آمنا في دولة يوغندا اللهم آمنا في بلادنا أوغندا اللهم آمنا في بلادنا أوغندا اللهم ارزقنا رزقا حلالا طيبا واسعا مباركا ربنا اغفر لنا ولوالدينا وارحمهم كما ربونا صغارا اللهم أنت ربنا لا إله إلا أنت خلقتنا ونحن عبادك ونحن على أهدك وعدك ما استطعنا نعوذ بك من شر ما صنعنا نبوء لك بنعمتك علينا ونبوء بذنوبنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا فإنه لا يغفر الذنوب إلا أنت لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إنا كنا من الظالمين وصل اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين وكل عام وأنتم بخير الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله سلمان الله أكبر الله أكبر الله جنب لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر نينو سيدي إبراهيم أكو يامبك إبراهيم يامبك سلمان الله أكبر الله أكبر أكبر الله أكبر لا إله بل ولله الحمد ما بزيزا شيخ إسحاق متنغو abadde preacher waffe olwaleero tusaba allah subhanahu wataala akkirize program eziddako tubatadde tugenda kusala bisolo amaze buli omu okubuuza ku munne program eddako kusala bisolo tulina olwaleero tulina olwenkya Thursday tulina Friday inshallah tulina ne Saturday kasasulatul asiri enaggwa kitegeeza ntujja kuba tumaze okulozinga.
Neyanza Sheikh Ishaq Mutengo abadde very clear in line with the leaders in the different responsibilities or offices that they have. Abakulembeze mu bifo byabwe ebyenjawulo Katonda byaba bataddemu okubeera abantu ab'obuvunaanyizibwa, abantu ab'ensa, abantu abasaasizi, kugamba mbufunze okuba nti buli mukulembeze yenna ku mutendera ku nnaku oli okubeera omuntu w'obuvunaanyizibwa eyambisa obulungi obuvunaanyizibwa oba obuyinza bw'olina okusinza ku byokulabirako byaleese ndowooza nti abasinga tubirabako wano abantu be boolesa amaanyi agayitiridde mu bintu ebimu ne bataba na busaasizi ne baba n'okweyagaliza n'okunyigiriza ate nga ffimu yaffe enkulu olwaleero twakkiriziganyizza kino kyetuliko ekyokusala ebisolo nti Bulayimu yakulembera okwerekereza okwagaliza n'abeera nti yeewadde eri Katonda we ate Katonda bwamuwaddemu ekisolo akisaze ate bwakisala n'akigabira abasigadde.
So oyogedde kusala ebisolo era ndi mu muudu kati akulaba ki ekigenda mu maaso mu Rufula. I want to link with Oliver Nakalembe, who's going to bring us bring us what is happening at the city abattoir. Olivier, the day of excitement, the day where we make sacrifices, those, especially those the Mohammedan followers, and those that God has privileged to get something to sacrifice. And maybe as it's Olivier and team are getting in order, I want to indulge Sheikh Umar again on the issue of the quality of a beef. Maybe let me now preserve that. Olivier, yes, this is the day Allah Ta'ala has made and told us to do certain things. I'm very sure you know what is going on. And I want to ask you, what is really going on? Oliver.
Trust me, the background or the noise coming through from my background is testimony enough to show that Adhuha celebrations are already underway. I'm coming to you live from the city abattoir, one of the oldest abattoirs that we actually do have, just adjacent internal affairs. And as you can see, it is meat. It is a celebration indeed to show that something is definitely going on. Kilos and kilos have been slaughtered right here. We do have sheep, we do have goat, we do have cows that of course made it right here to be slaughtered, and to the Muslim community to make sure that their celebrations of Eid Adhuha indeed are full. And as you can see, there's people moving left, right and center. There's butchers moving left, right and center to make sure that deliveries are also made on time for those that made their orders. But of course, from what we at least have gathered, is that the Muslim community does trust this particular city abattoir, because they know for sure that the preparations to make sure that they do sacrifice the animals that are rightfully made for sacrifice have indeed taken place. But of course, I am joined by the public relations officer for the city abattoir right here, Edward Mwesigwa, to give us better explanation on what exactly has transpired on this particular day. Mwesigwa would want to know from you, how has business transpired today? How many animals have made it to the guillotine? How many sheep? How many goats? And how has business fared generally?
Approximately, we have slaughtered around 800 cows, around 500 goats, like also 200 sheep. Yes, that's what we have been able to slaughter from this place today.
We do understand that there are do's and don'ts when it comes to slaughtering these animals, most especially for the Muslim community. Have you put these into consideration to make sure that the Muslim community does take home sacrifices that are indeed fit to be consumed by them on this particular day, Eid Adhuha?
First of all, I want to assure the audience that here we have Halali. Halali is an organization that is responsible to slaughter animals from Uganda Supreme Council. And we have certificates every year. And this year they renewed it, and we have their members here. Honestly speaking, whatever meat we supply from here is halal and fit for human consumption.
It is not only a day for religious celebrations for the Muslim community, but it also extends into our pockets for the business people, well, at least. Has the demand and supply equaled? Do we have business people celebrating that they have actually made profits as compared to what we had last year?
Yes, it has been busy since it is really an easy day, but the business has not been all that the way we anticipated, simply because you can realize that there is poverty in the community. So the purchasing power has been low, and I understand normally those Muslims are from like Turkey, from those Islamic countries. You remember, what happened in Turkey. They had a serious earthquake. So this one also has affected. They didn't come in big numbers the way they used to. Yes.
Maybe if you could just break it down for us. Let's talk about the pricing of, say, a kilo of goat's meat, a kilo of mutton, a kilo of beef. How has the pricing been as compared to that we had last year?
What I can assure you that the kilo of goat's meat and mutton is the same. So it is around 18 and 20, given the quality. So for the meat, since here it is a wholesale place, we've sold at 13,000 per kilo, 12 and 10,000. 13,000, that is the fatty meat, 12,000, that is medium meat, and 11,000, that is what we call white meat. Meat from animals that are still relatively young. Yes.
It is Eid Adhuha, and those who cannot afford this meat surely would tap into those that are privileged to have this particular sacrifice ongoing. As the city abattoir, is there something that you are taking to the needy community?
Well, I wish all Ugandans this happy Eid Day, and I wish them well, to celebrate it well, and all the best, and I can assure them that whoever wants good meat, quality meat, satisfied both by Islamic community and from our health personnel that were provided by KCCA, this is the only place where you can get good meat and a cheaper price. Otherwise, I wish them the best.
Mr. Mwesigwa, you're going away by answering one of my questions I asked. That the needy community in the Muslim faith is definitely supposed to get something from those that are privileged. As the city abattoir, as the leadership of the city abattoir, are you going to give out some meat, some free meat?
We always do, but selectively. We identify those ones who cannot afford. We slaughter like 2 to 3 animals, and we give them free meat in 1 kilo, in 2 kilos. Yes.
Well, Dalton, that is what is taking place right here at the city abattoir. I'm not saying I'm needy, but hey, it would not hurt if Mwesigwa Edward, as the public relations officer of this particular city abattoir, did give me at least 100 kilos of meat so that I also give to those that are not privileged. Over to you, Dalton Kawesa at the Political Command Center. I'm Olivia Nakaleni.
Well, thank you very much, Oliver Nakalembe, for that information that you've shared. That also is very important that Sisiri Bacha, by its nature, is in the business of meat. So it is not 100% that whatever is being cut from there is actually sacrificed. But also to a certain extent, for the sake of understanding the context of it, is that there are some Muslims that use the opportunity to take their animals for the sacrifice. So in that case, the regard, because there's so many people that swarm the area, they could use the area for the professional people that can do it, the slaughtering of the meat, rather the slaughtering of the animals, and therefore take ready meat to be distributed to the needy. So the three categories of sacrifice that Sheikh Umar taught us this morning. As we wait to see which other place we should be visiting, I want to indulge Sheikh Umar, again, a scholar, an Islamic scholar, on some of the things that happen on this day and trying to understand. From the city Abacha, Sheikh Umar, is there, if I have 100 cows and I see one that is almost lifeless, when I sacrifice that, the one that I see cannot live the next week, is that also a sacrifice?
It may not even be the next week, the next day, or the next hours. Ideally, the criteria for selecting animals to be slaughtered is very clear. It is based on a verse which says that لَن تَنَالُوا الْبِرَّ حَتَّى تُنْفِقُوا مِمَّا تُحِبُّونَ. You can't get any rewards, any blessings, unless you give in what you like most. In other words, unless you give in what is healthy, what is good looking, what is pleasant. So the animals should be healthy.
That's point number one.
Point number one. And free from defects, physical defects, except where defects help to actually make them healthier, like castration. Animals that are weak, feeble, not nice looking, weak, they can't walk, they are sick, they are down, you are not allowed to slaughter those animals. You must look out for those healthier animals that are good, that are pleasant, that would probably you would exchange for money. It touches you down deep your heart that if you stand in and say, well, this is my good sheep, it can go for maybe 300, this is my good goat, let me sacrifice it. There you get rewards for slaughtering animals.
That is very educative. So my auntie, called Mama Queen, Seviala, you've had. Tojayo eri ente eri jokoye eino kubanga eri healthy. Mama Queen, Seviala ndozo wulde seka chatugama. Let's go to Chibuli where there is Shamim Nabakoza to bring us what is happening at Chibuli. Shamim, we've had the prayers. We want you to give us the takeaway from the preaching that we had from Chibuli. Shamim?
Many thanks, Dalton. The takeaway for me, the bigger part of it is on service delivery in this country and calls for assurance on security in the country. Especially the Supreme Mufti of Chibuli has expressed his fears, especially with what is coming out as a new wave of insecurity in the country. Cases of Kayunga and Masaka, on top of what happened in Kasese, have been very key questions, especially to the leadership here, who have been tasking government to at least be able to answer clearly the reasons as to why people would be killed and not anybody in that manner has been arrested quickly. The bigger question rises from where they say government has been intentional to invest in security, having about at least 4.3 or 4.5 trillion shillings go to security alone. They question what this money has been able to do, considering the re-emergence of the different waves of crime in the country. And the other discussion especially picked has been on the potholes in the country. What the sharing has been a bigger question on how the potholes are filled, especially with soil. How does, and what for me the question was, how does it happen? Because this was the question raised. How does it happen that you have potholes in the city that comes in with a lot of revenue for the bigger population of the country? And the different calls that arose, especially with telling government especially to step up its game on service delivery, on security of the people, and the concerns of how even people, individuals from within government could actually be fighting government, could be frustrating the efforts of government if it does not step up to ensure that service delivery is up to speed with what the expectations of the people is, ensuring that there is safety of the individuals in the country, and ensuring that whenever a financial year comes up, at least there's improvement in terms of business for the people, improvement in terms of security, what the key deliverables are for a state to its own people. And those have been the bigger cause. And for the believers, the call has been to engrave yourself within the religion, bring God closer to yourself, and also at least be keen to yourself and be kind to yourself and people that are around you. Dalton Kawesa, if somebody cannot afford to be kind to themselves, they cannot offer any kindness to you. So that was the bigger concern. That was the bigger takeaway, to be key to what we pursue as individuals in terms of services that we offer. Actually, there was a message towards us as journalists to ensure that what we believe in, what we know is good for the population, is pursued, and that is within the realm of telling the truth to the power, telling the truth to every person closer to us, to ensure that, we do not move within what is not acceptable in society, and believe in what the acceptable manners are for society and what the behavior looks like, Dalton. That has been the bigger message here, but what the bigger concern has been, the issues of security in the country.
Well, Shamim, thank you very much. Let me straight away go to Ali, who is at Hotel Africana, and definitely he has relocated to, previously we had Ali at Hotel Africana. Now we want to find out where he has gone, and this time around be ably informed that Ali is at Nachibinge's residence. Prince, I beg your pardon, Prince Nachibinge. Let me speak to Ali. Ali, tell us what do we expect? The prayers are done. What next for the Muslims that have taken the message, what has been shared at the mosque? Era njagala obeere nga Ali Kasujja otutegeeza biki by'oyizeemu, biki abasiraamu abalala bayize mu kusomesa kwa leero mu kutuba, era ki ekiddako Ali?
Webale nnyo Dalton Kawesa ali ku NBS atulabe essaawa eno, tuli wa mulangira Dr. Lucas Nachibinge, era wano ge maka ga kitaawe omugenzi Haji Nachibinge Kakungulu. So olunaku olwaleero bannaffe bwe bamaliriza okusaala, so tukkirira ew'omulangira wano okulabika nga asiibulula ku bantu beggwe ali eyo era alaba, era abantu batandise okuvaayo waggulu kasozi okukkirira eyo. Nno yenteekateeka gy'olaba ekidaala ky'abakyala nga bulijjo kyo kirabika nga kitandise okufumbekera, era nina ne bendabyemu naye ng'ate bava ku Old Kampala awo, sitegedde ndowooza azze kulya ku mmere ng'omulangira. Enteekateeka ebeera wano yamulangira kusiibulula abasiraamu essaawa eno, okulya ku mmere okulyako nabo. Yali nkola y'amaka gano okulabika nga buli yidi oluva waggulu ku muzikiti baba bajja wano okulyako n'abamu. Wano nno wabeerawo nnyo bannabyabufuzi, abakulembeze mu bitundu eby'enjawulo, bonna babeera wano, n'abakulembeze abalala mu ddiini era babeera wano. Era nsuubira nti kati abantu bannayuganda batandise okusala swala ewedde ku ssaawa 3:15. So oluvannyuma lwa swala wabaawo kutuba era naye ewedde. Kati awo ekiddako be bantu okutambula okukiira wano we tuli munaffe gwe ali era atulaba. Enteekateeka zonna bannaffe abazikola be balangira wano. So gwe munaffe njagala okukulisaayo bannayuganda bonna, sabiiti ewedde oba wiikendi twabadde wano era mu madda ga Mbogo wano we twabadde mu balangira, ate kakati tukomyewo ewajja gyaffe Dr. Lucas Nachibinge atugabule ekijjulo era ng'enteekateeka bw'ogiraba. Abali mu nteekateeka abeera Haji Kakomo, oyo ye ngenda mukuwa atukubuuzeeko ate atubuulire enteekateeka ziri zitya ye nga bw'aziraba ku Idi eri kyakwata ne kati kinaakwata oba abantu bali bize bagenze mu birala. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalamu warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Nsanyusa okukulaba Haji Kakomo.
Nange nsanyusa okukulaba munnamawulire waffe wa NBS.
Okutwaliza wamu olwaleero Munnayuganda akimanyi bulungi nti bwe tumala okusaala waggulu tukkirira wano. Kiki ekiri wano era nteekateeka ki?
Ekiri wano kiri wa jjajjaffe Dr. Kasimu Nakibinge Kakungulu Alhaji. Jjajjaffe buli lwe tumala okusaala atushaza mu maka ge n'atusiibulula. Era nga bwe mumanyi nti eno Idi tusooka kusiiba, twasiibye era bwe tumaze okusaala tujja wano atusiibulule era atugabule nga bwe mumanyi nti ewa jjajja tewaggwa bigagu.
Okusala Bannayuganda bagenda bongeramu amaanyi okujjumbira oba bakyali banafu nga luli balinda z'abatake n'Abawarabu?
Ndowooza bongeddemu era jjajjaffe bulijjo akikutukuutira bw'amala otugabula wano aba ayagala kututanga obudde bukyali abantu basobole okugenda okusala. Nze ndaba nti abantu beeyongedde okujjumbira eddiini yaabwe, okugyagala n'okuteekamu n'okukola ibaada. Weewaawo n'ez'abatake bazirinda naye n'abasala okusinziira ku maanyi gaabwe n'obusobozi nabo bawera ddala.
Ssebo tweyanzeege. So tulinda bulinzi bava waggulu kujja tulye ku mmere.
Weewaawo wahidde awaana walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Tweyanza nnyo Haji Kakomo, oli ku NBS TV ate oli ku Salamu TV mu kiseera kye kimu. Nennyongera n'okujjukiza nti olw'okujaganya mutwegatteko mutujaganyizeeko. Tuweze emyaka 15 nga tuli mu mayengo g'empeereza yeeyo NBS TV at 15. Nolwekyo tubeebaza mwenna okutuwagira, tubeebaza okuteekamu amaanyi ne byonna bye mukoze. Mwebale nnyo, mwebale ddala. Bw'otunulira ekifaananyi kino ekya abatuuka, ndabira ddala nga batuuka omulangira gye buvuddeko emabegako awo. Ekifaananyi kino ndooza njagala muganange akikuwe omulangira Kalifani Kakungulu yatuuse. Yasoose aline omukulu headmaster wa Kakungulu Memorial. Kyekyo ekifaananyi eky'omulangira kyolengera awo omulangira Kalifani Kakungulu. Kyekyo ekifaananyi ne mukadde waffe headmaster wa Kakungulu Memorial Senior Secondary School awo. So njagala kufuna ku headmaster ono ate n'omulangira waali nga bw'obalaba kyeki enteekateeka eri wano gwe ali ku NBS ne Salamu TV. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh mukadde wange.
Wa alaikum salam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Nkwaniriza oli ku NBS, oli ku Salamu TV, babulira amannya tulabe enteekateeka ateddako wano.
Amanya bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Amanya gange nze Haji Buwembo Jamiru, headmaster wa Kakungulu Memorial School. Mwenna mu nsi yonna Idi Mubarak. Atusobozesezza okubeera wano kutuuka ku lunaku lwa Idi. Idi tumaze okugisaala ku lusozi Kibuli, alhamdulillah ebadde nnungi. Era kati tuli wa mukadde waffe omulangira Mbuga, era tuli mu nteekateeka nti mukadde waffe nga bulijjo otumala okusaala Idi tugenda Embuga jjajjaffe n'atugabula. Era twebaza Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala olw'obulamu bwe. Tusaba Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mwongere obulamu bulungi, aweereza obusiraamu n'Obuganda n'eggwanga n'ensi yonna inshallah.
Sebo tuyanzeege. Mukadde wange omulangira onono Sheikh, oyo Sheikh omulabye mukulengezaako. Haji, kyenjagala okumanya okutwaliza wamu Bannayuganda naddala mu kusala. Budde ki bwe tugamba nti kati tutandise oba tetunnaba? Budde ki ku ssaawa eno kuba swala ziwedde?
Okusaala Idi kuwedde era ng'enjigiriza y'omubaka bweri. Oluvannyuma lw'okusaala Idi tutandika okusala ebisolo sacrifice nga tujjukira ekyafaayo kya Prophet Ibrahim kiyasaba ate Allah n'amukyusiza mu kifo ky'okusala omwana we n'amukkiriza n'asaddaaka ekisolo. Era oluvannyuma lwa Idi olwali tusale n'enkya ku lwokutaano, ku lwokuna tusale ne ku lwokutaano tusale ne ku lwomukaaga insha Allah paka ku salati ya asiri buli muntu asobodde asale ate asaddaake ennyama eyo aliye ne banne insha Allah.
Tuyanze
amina
tulabira omulangira nti tumulengedde. Okay, tuli ffenna liku NBS ate ne Salam TV tuli Kibuli webale nnyo obabalire ddala balangira obalaba bo polotoko bwatyo bwatambula. Oyo ye muto w'omulangira Dr. Kasim Nakibinge, oyo ye Kalifani Kakungulu. Ekidaala ekyabakyala kyo kyateredde dda. Entereera gye nkugamba kwe kulaba nga baggumidde, kwe kulaba nga mu nteekateeka yeeyo gy'olaba naddala ez'abakyala wano Ekibuli bwe tuba mu nteekateeka nga zino oba emikolo emirala gyonna abeera Hajjati Katongole. Hajjati Katongole era ebiseera ebisinga abakyala yabatera okubafulumiza ekigambo ekirungi abakumyekumye era ndabanga mu butuufu entuula n'enteekateeka nnungi. Hajjati salamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salaam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Hajjati eyo ye habaya oba
Lugwe lwa Busiraamu.
Esebo.
Kale sebo.
Buuza ku Munnayuganda ate tweyongere.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Mbayozaayoza mwenna bannayuganda, abakyala n'abaami okutuuka ku lunaku luno. Twebaza Allah okubeera nga tusobozesezza okubeeramu abo abalamu abasobodde okusaala ate ne basobola n'okubeera nga batuukako mu bifo eby'enjawulo. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Okusala mu Uganda bannayuganda obalaba nga bafaayo oba kuba ggwe obabeeramu?
Bafaayo bambi bakyenyigiramu nnyo buli omu kisinziira ku busobozi bwe. Oyo yenna abatakikoze abatamanyi bulungi bwakyo abatamanyi makulu gaakyo ne bw'aba akitegedde nga bakimusomesezza bulungi kakasa nti aba ayagala okusala era bakyenyigiddemu. Bonna Allah basobozesezza.
Bali nnyo bayiddala.
Barakallahu fikum. Bonna mbagaliza Idi ennungi, Idi Mubarak.
Waalaikum salaam. Tuyanza nnyo, tuyanze gendooza omukyala omulabye bulungi omukulembeze ate nga y'omu ku bakumaakuma abakyala wano. Dalton Kaweesa njagala okukomawo ku Command Center. Nkomawo Command Center tusooke tuweeko n'enteekateeka zonna endala ate oluvannyuma tujja kuba tukomawo naye nga nkujjukiza nti oli ku NBS TV ate ne Salam TV mseera kyekimu. Webale nnyo, webalire ddala. Nzajali Boxer. Over to you. Mganange Dalton Kaweesa.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, walillahi alhamdu. Sheikh, as we let you go for the duties that you're supposed to undertake,
Yes.
We want to hear from you a final word today on this show. The Muslims that are watching, millions of them, they're watching us, I can tell you, from Afro Mobile, where people are moving across the globe, the diaspora, also on Salam TV. So what message would you share with them, Sheikh?
I just want to encourage each of us to take up this responsibility of slaughtering animals as a sign of showing gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What if we are supposed to slaughter children? So this is very, very important. The other important message is that the arrangement that saw the ransoming of a son with a sheep is a clear sign that as Muslims, we must always, in fact, not only Muslims, but the entire community, we must take charge of people's lives. Because each life that you save, you are saving the entire humanity's life. And if you participate, if you contribute to taking away a single life, then you've destroyed the entire humanity. Now that also brings in the point of respecting others, upholding the dignity of others. Human beings are special beings, special creatures of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that means we need to continually slaughter animals, not only for the Eid days, even other days, for so long as we slaughter for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can slaughter any animals, for so long as you dedicate the animal to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and not to any other evil spirits. The other important aspect I also appreciate the positivity, the positive parenting between Ibrahim and his son. Remember at the time when he told him that I saw in my dream slaughtering you. What is your take? Can you imagine? A command of the Almighty, the Creator. Was it a subject of a debate? That perhaps if the son refuted, it wouldn't take course. So we realized that there was a huge connection. The hearts were connected between Ibrahim and his son. Okay. There was friendship beyond the blood. So even we as parents today, we need to change the way we parent our children. It should be positive parenting. We should be friends. We should, invest more in guidance and counseling. Otherwise, elements of violence create products of violence.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sheikh Umar Mubiru from Al Hidayah Foundation for sharing. And I found it very edifying to interact with Sheikh because there are a lot of things that we take for granted that he came to the fore and explained. Some of these small things that would easily deny you your sacrifice to be accepted by Allah, or those small things that would ordinarily take you to, would actually deny you the passage, the safe passage to Jannah. He has tried to explain them, and I hope it has been life-changing for us. Dalton Kawesa here at the Political Command Center. We'll take a break, and when we return, we shall be touching base with different spheres and what the day is going to look like. Stay here.